Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Rolling Forward podcast. I have a special guest today here with me, Jen Hunt. How are you today?
I'm great.
Great. I have an intro question for you, and it is: you're a mom of 8, balancing homeschool, real estate, and Levi's journey with Spina Bifida. When you look at everything your family has faced, what's the biggest thing that's kept you grounded?
I would say my faith
Yeah.
in God,
Okay.
and yeah, just knowing that He is with us all the time and carries us through whatever we face. Really,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. I like the answer. Okay, well, we're gonna get into so much today. I do coach Levi in wheelchair tennis. And we'll get into that. We'll get into a little bit about real estate. You homeschool all your kids. You have 8 kids. Crazy. A lot of people might think that's crazy. I don't know.
I think it's crazy.
Yeah, right. But anyway, welcome to the Rolling Forward podcast, a podcast of people who keep rolling forward no matter what life throws at them. Real stories powered by purpose, resilience, and a drive that never ends. I'm Zach Sikora. Spina Bifida didn't stop me. It just gave me a better excuse to sit down while I take over the world. Uh, so today's funny shirt it's not a Zach original, but it is. It's not a Zach original. It says, "This is how I roll." Let me show the camera real quick. There it is. So I did not create the shirt. I did get this on Amazon. But if you want a shirt that's along the same lines, you can get my shirts at rollingforward.printful.me. Now let's roll into today's episode with, as I said earlier, Jen Hunt. So Jen, for those who don't know who you are, give me a 10,000-foot overview.
Oh goodness. Okay, I am a mom of 8 kids, 4 biological, 4 adopted.
Okay.
I've been married to my husband for 30 years. We have, let's see, I work in real estate. I'm a real estate agent. My husband owns his own electrical contracting company.
Okay.
And let's see, we're busy all the time.
Yeah. You were just telling me about how busy you are. As far as just this morning alone. So you mentioned, oh my gosh, I didn't put on any makeup, and then you said you have a story around that. So do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I haven't slept in a week because my daughter Emma, who's 25, surprised us on Sunday that she is pregnant.
Oh, yay!
With twins.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just like wake up in the middle of the night, like every hour, not realizing that I am worrying about her constantly. So I wake up thinking, oh my goodness, what's this going to look like for her? So anyway,
I feel like that's just a motherly instinct to worry. I think my mom does something similar. So she's like what, like 2 or 3 months in, or
she's 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
In,
Okay.
and she's just so sick and so miserable. Yeah. She just feels terrible. She has a hard time working. She's just morning sickness that lasts all day. So.
Oh, bummer. Okay.
Yeah. But she's thrilled and excited about it.
Yeah, sure.
Just,
Right.
she's miserable.
Right. Aw.
Yeah.
And is she local?
She lives in Columbus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you can't necessarily be there
can't.
for her all the time or
Yeah.
anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into how we know each other. So can you explain to everybody how we know each other?
Yes. You coached Levi.
Yeah.
In tennis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And it's been, so how long has Levi been playing tennis?
I think it's 2 years now.
Yeah, that would be my estimate as well.
I think maybe a little over.
Yeah. And he plays other adaptive sports. We'll say I won't say wheelchair sports, but what are those?
Levi plays sled hockey,
Mm-hmm.
and he loves sled hockey.
Mm-hmm.
He loves tennis.
Mm-hmm.
He does do downhill skiing.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we can get there, when the weather cooperates
Yeah.
here.
We're in Ohio, so that, you know, they're hills as far
Yeah,
as skiing
yeah,
goes.
yeah. Unless we can get to out west,
Yeah,
you know. So,
yeah. Did
which
you know? Did you know I did downhill skiing?
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I that was kind of my third sport. It was tennis as a main, and then basketball, and then downhill skiing.
Oh,
So
cool.
I
Yeah.
actually went to Breckenridge, Colorado, in Colorado. So
Oh, cool.
skied down Black Diamond or two, and
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a blast.
That
Highly recommend you
that's a
guys do
lot.
that.
Yeah. Levi's been to Copper. And we've been
Copper.
Copper Mountain, which is
Where's
right out. It's in between Aspen and Breckenridge.
Okay.
So, and we've also done some other things. There's a place, a smaller place right out there called Sunlight, which is a great, great ski resort for families. I love it. It's
Ah,
not quite to Aspen, but it's beyond Breck.
okay.
It's just like it's a great little small resort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the sit ski that Levi uses, is he good to like get on the ski lifts and
He still needs some help with
yeah,
that. We don't
sure.
have enough practice
Yeah.
here, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So he needs help getting on and off the lift, but then he skis.
And I feel like the non-Ohio ski lifts are a little bit higher up. They seem to be like, I don't know, thicker
They're,
seats or something like that.
and
And
they're fast.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're a lot faster
Yeah.
too. So okay, cool. So if we weren't here chatting right now, where would you be?
I'd be home.
Yeah.
Probably working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we talked. We're gonna get into homeschooling and other things as well. But do you have any funny at home stories, homeschooling stories, Levi stories that come to mind?
Oh my goodness! Right now, off the bat,
I know I'm putting you on the spot.
funny stories like just from homeschooling.
Or at home, or just about with your family. No. Okay.
Not right now.
That's okay. Okay. So let's get into the theme question then.
Okay.
What keeps you rolling forward?
Well, I need to eat, so that's always
Yeah.
keeps me going.
I love it.
Oh, we have so many kids that need to eat. They need to do things. They're having kids is expensive.
Yeah.
And so I feel like every day it's just we wake up and hustle and we get everything done and we we just don't stop, I guess.
I like it. I like it. Is there a piece of advice or belief that really helps your family stay strong and resilient?
Well, absolutely. Yeah, we rely heavily on God
Mm.
in our family.
Mm-hmm.
And we really believe that how we treat others and how we live our life
Mm-hmm.
matters.
Mm.
It matters a lot,
Mhm.
and to God and to everyone, to the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just want to be good stewards of what He's given us, and we feel we've been so very blessed in our life, and yeah, we just want to continue living that way, and we're not like it's not a fear-based thing. It's a gratitude-based
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Where we're just thankful for all
Yeah.
that we have, and we just want to
Yeah.
keep on keeping on.
So I'm gonna ask this next question a little tongue in cheek, but you've told me that you don't go to church.
We don't.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we. Well, there's a lot of reasons why we don't go to church.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like churches are very performative,
Mm.
and it's more about how things look
Mm.
than what the Bible actually says. And I don't feel like the Bible is really cherished as much as it ought to be.
Mhm.
It's a lot about emotionalism. It's a
Mm.
lot about being good, being
Feel good almost.
feel good, be
Yeah.
good, obey these rules. And I just don't vibe with it.
Mm.
I just don't.
Yeah. But you do church.
But we do church at home.
Yes.
We do. We worship God is what we do.
Yeah.
Really, because church is not even meant to be a building. Church is a people.
Mm.
Church is a community.
Mm.
And it's not even really the word that they used in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's an assembly
Yeah.
together, and I don't know that it's meant to be the way that it is, but we do worship God together. It's very low key.
Yeah.
We read His Word. We sometimes listen to a sermon from a trusted pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lot of culture in church that doesn't really vibe with me.
Yeah. Mm.
Judgmentalism. Just a lot of things that just doesn't vibe with me. So
I like it. Okay. Um, One thing with the rolling forward question that I love to talk about is purpose.
mm,
Um, so I think I can predict your answer based on what we've just talked about, but um, for someone, I think more and more society and just younger kids, individuals, they lack purpose.
mm.
How does one find purpose?
Hmm. Well, I think realizing that we are all created for a reason,
Mm,
and that God created us as He created us for a reason,
mm,
and and finding out how we are to best serve Him,
sure.
and how to serve our fellow man, that gives us great purpose. Um, so everything we do, we're to do it as unto the Lord.
Mm,
So whether you're a street sweeper
mm-hmm,
and you sweep the streets, you do it the very best you can as unto the Lord. And
mm-hmm.
if you're a stay-at-home mom, feeding your kids 3 meals a day, feeling unappreciated.
Yeah,
But when you do it unto the Lord, it gives you a different purpose. You realize you're serving your creator,
sure.
your fellow man.
So going a little bit deeper on that, I heard you say serve others.
Yeah.
How important is that for purpose?
I think it's huge for
Yeah,
purpose. Yeah.
yeah,
Because if we're just self-centered, self-absorbed, we end up being lonely
yeah.
and we end up being unfulfilled.
Mm-hmm,
But when we forget about ourselves for a while and
mm-hmm,
we care for other people, we are fulfilled, right?
mm-hmm.
I mean, I am.
Yeah, yeah. Me too. You know, as far as like when I've dove into all this adaptive sports stuff and all that, it's like you know, I think I was in my 20s. I was a lot more directionless than I am now.
Mm,
And you know, when someone said you got to find your purpose, like what is it that you're called to do, or you know, what are your interests? And obviously, I had interests, but it's like I didn't know how to take those interests and like execute on them, right?
right.
And yeah, so that's it just when someone says find your purpose, it rings hollow
Mm,
to someone that doesn't have purpose,
mm,
right? And so it's interesting. I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I've created this podcast is to show people what's possible, as I said in the intro, right? And help them relate to anybody's journey that's on. Like you having 8 kids, the journey you've gone. Um, you having Levi who has spina bifida and that whole journey. So it's interesting. Anything else to say about purpose or?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Let's get into real estate and the electrical contracting business your husband has.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about your work in real estate. What drew you to it? The floor is yours.
Okay. What I love about real estate is that I get to work with people
Mm,
and I get to help them find their home
mm,
where they can raise their families or, retire or make memories, just whatever they want to do, but I help them.
mm.
It's typically the largest investment any of us make.
Yeah.
And I just feel really blessed to help people facilitate that process.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
I
make
like
good
it.
decisions and things like that.
How long have you been doing it for?
Man, 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk to me about. I'm very curious. There's obviously in the real estate world, there's so many ups and downs with the market and interest rates that you can't control.
hmm
There's various regulations that come out. How do you deal with that through those cycles, if you will?
Well, you just have no choice, right? Just be like water. We just shift and
Yeah.
scramble and try to learn as much as you can so you can keep top of market,
Yeah.
keep your head in the game. Every year it feels like a completely new market since 2020.
Mm,
Prior to that, it was pretty status quo. It was simple.
yeah.
But every year I feel like I'm learning something completely new.
Right.
And you just have to work hard at it, I guess.
What are one, maybe two things that you have learned since 2020, or how has the real estate market changed?
Oh my goodness. Um, all of a sudden in 2021, I would say there was a huge influx of buyers.
Hmm.
Um, because the interest rates were so ridiculously low.
Yeah.
And then things have shifted dramatically. The interest rates have skyrocketed. Nobody wants to sell their home anymore because they've all got a 3% interest rate,
Yeah.
right? Myself included. So I don't blame anyone for
Mhm.
that. I think it's unwise if in this market right now to spend money that you don't have.
Sure.
Um, I think it's good to be frugal, and it's walking people through that decision, which basically ultimately cuts into my income, but
Yeah.
telling them what I'm like, I don't think it's wise for you to buy right now or
Sure.
sell right now. That's a complete shift
Mhm.
in the market for me. Now, some people it is wise, and some people don't have a choice, and some people are transferred, and that's a different story. But just walking people through all of that. What
Yeah.
I've learned is I don't know where everyone went though.
Mm.
Like, why were there so many people needing houses and now they're gone? I don't know where they are.
Oh,
I think they've moved back in with their parents, a
Yeah.
lot of the younger buyers,
Right.
things like that. It's been an interesting shift.
What do you say to someone who said housing prices are too high and it's better to rent?
I'd say, well, renting is very high right now too.
Mhm.
And I think the housing prices are only going to increase.
Yeah.
And I think it's foolish to throw your money away every month if you can afford to buy.
Mhm.
If you have the resources and the means, it's always more, I think it's always wiser to buy.
Yeah.
2 of my kids just bought a house this year.
Mhm.
I mean, they bought wisely.
Yeah.
They're under their means. One of them needs to be renovated, which is where I was planning on going this afternoon, is helping Ethan paint his house
Yeah.
inside because it's just it's abysmal actually.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
rough ride. But it will be a beautiful home when he's
Sure.
done. But I think it's wiser to not throw your money away because when
Yeah.
in 10 years or 5 years you sell that, you
Mhm.
recoup everything you've put into it and then some.
Yeah. Yeah. So my little brother's a finance director.
Oh,
And so he got his degree in finance and all that. And um he was in a place where he needed to buy a home or decide to rent. He moved for his job and all that. And he comes to me, he goes, Zach, interest rates are super high right now, or a lot higher than in 2020, 2021, all that. And he goes, should I wait for the markets to cool down, or should I buy a house? And I'm curious, before I give you my answer,
mm.
what your answer would be.
I would ask him how long he's planning on living there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he's going to be there 5 years, buy.
Yeah.
If you're only going to be there a year or two, rent.
Mm-hmm.
Inflation is happening, but
Yeah.
at what rate will it continue to happen? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think a 5-year plan is safe.
Yeah.
A 2-year plan might be risky.
Yeah. Sure.
That's
He wants to settle down potentially in this house and have kids and a family and all that. He's married, has a wife currently, no kids.
okay. I would say buy.
Yeah.
Buy. You can always refinance when the interest rates drop. There will be less buyers competing for that house.
Yeah.
You'll ultimately probably get a better price now
Yeah.
than you will if interest rates drop.
Yeah.
Which I don't
That's so true. Oh, that's a good point.
I don't
Housing
know.
prices are going up.
Housing prices are going up, and then the more people that want to buy, then they'll just drive that price higher again.
Mm.
And so then you can always just, as long as you can swing it financially, then you can always refinance.
Yeah. That's basically what I told him as well. It was like, listen, like this next house is going to be your dream house. Don't let interest rates shy you away from buying your dream house. And again, like you stressed, as long as they have the means, and I think that's a very important consideration. So I don't want to let that go unsaid as well. So
Right.
or unnoticed rather. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so then your husband.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what he does.
Steve does a lot.
Mhm.
Steve does a lot of things. He owns a predominantly commercial electrical contracting company.
Mhm.
He builds a lot of large projects. He does. He built the iFly in Liberty Township.
Cool.
That was kind of his baby. He actually is the founder of that.
Cool.
But he did all the electrical. He built it. He does a lot of like restaurants, stores. He's building out a few stores in Kenwood Mall right now and Rookwood.
Okay.
He does a lot of office work, like office buildings, things like that.
And you do personal real estate, right?
I do. I mean, I can do commercial, but I definitely focus more on
Sure.
homes.
Have you ever been involved in like Steve buying a property or?
A commercial property?
Yeah.
No,
Mm.
I have not. He's not. We don't own any commercial properties. He operates his home,
Well,
his business from home.
sorry, maybe not buying, but I guess he probably has clients that are buying commercial properties, then want Steve to renovate, and so like, have you made those connections or?
No, typically Steve works for such big corporations
Yeah.
that they have their own in-house real estate agents.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Okay. So then you have 8 kids.
Yeah.
I guess before we get into wrapping it all together, talk to me about 8 kids.
Okay. It's a wild ride.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully I'm like on the back end of it and they're growing up. Honestly, it doesn't really get easier because they
Okay.
still really need you.
Yeah.
And but it's less chaos in my house.
Okay.
Which I loved the chaos. It was always fun.
Mm-hmm.
You're never lonely. No one's ever lonely. You'll always have somebody to talk to,
Yeah.
to hang out with, to watch a movie with, to play a game with, whatever. Myself included. We're all very close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you want to know about it?
So yeah. So what's the age group or like the age range?
Olivia is our oldest, and she's 29,
Mm-hmm.
and Levi is our youngest, and he's nearly 15. He'll be 15 this next month.
Yeah. So 29 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
So my brother is 45.
Okay.
And my little brother is 30.
Okay.
So it's a
Similar
pretty,
gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I'm the third kid. I'm
Okay.
40, and then my little brother's 30. So
Okay.
there's a pretty big weight, I suppose,
Yeah.
between those kids. Okay, so wrapping it all together, how the heck do you juggle all that?
I don't know, man.
You just have to.
Every day is a blur. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I have a schedule. It doesn't typically get adhered to because always something happens.
Yeah.
There's always a curveball thrown.
Yeah.
So you just have to be very adaptable.
Yeah.
And I have a very a loose framework of a schedule. I just need to. I have a list. It has to get done. And it doesn't really matter. Typically, what I skip out on is like my workout. That's what I've given up.
Right.
I've kind of given up on that sometimes.
Right.
But that's just how I do it. I make a list every morning. I get up and I execute as best I can.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because I'm looking at I look at my own life, and I'm doing the podcast. I create shorts every day. I train MMA here.
Fun.
And I do that twice a week usually. And then, I have a day job. I coach tennis. I sometimes I'll coach pickleball, and I'm juggling all these things. But man, like hearing about your life with everything that you have going on, it pales into comparison to all that. And it's so I guess from like, and maybe this is I want selfish advice as well for me. But for anybody listening, what's one tool or resource that you use to juggle it all?
Oh, okay. Well, one tool or resource I use is I bulk cook.
Bulk cook. Okay.
Yeah, so like I'll cook for the week or for the month.
Oh.
And freeze it and label it, and then I can just pull it out and throw it into the pan or the crock pot or whatever.
You must have some big pots and pans.
I do. We do.
Okay.
Yeah. Like restaurant supply.
Wow.
Size.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is your kitchen like super decked out then? Because
I do have a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a lot of stuff.
Do you have like industrial like stoves and stuff like that? Or?
No. I don't need all that. I have a double oven and a cooktop and like 2 Instant Pots and a crock pot.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much enough.
Yeah.
I can get everything done that way.
So you bulk cook, and I think that definitely helps out with time and time management and stuff like that.
And money saving, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me about like the day-to-day time management skills that you have.
Well, I don't know. Like, goodness, I don't think about them. I have like an alarm that goes off on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
like constantly for me, like, oh, it's time to, whether it's switch the laundry
Yeah.
or, time to make dinner. Or, I mean, like, I started making my own bread during COVID, and now I'm addicted and I can't go back to
Okay.
commercial bread.
Okay.
It tastes so much better.
Okay.
So, like feed your starter or do your stretch and folds or, whatever.
Yeah.
Get Levi's math done.
Yeah.
Time for Levi's whatever care,
Yeah.
I have like a million alarms set on my phone.
So alarms over calendar.
Yeah, I have a calendar and those also go off. Those
Yeah.
are for like if something's coming up that's out of the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But my alarm comes on my phone for like all day long,
Yeah. Okay.
like every little thing that I have to remember to do because I forget things. I get busy.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So at work, I have a calendar, and on that calendar, I'll just set like reminders, and I'll color code those reminders of like,
Yeah.
hey, you got to do this today, or this is due in 2 days, or and then I have like actual meetings that are a different color and and all that. But I, so I can't set alarms on my phone because I work in a corporate office, right?
Right.
And if an alarm goes off, that's disturbing everybody else, and
Makes sense. Yeah.
and all that. But I do set alarms outside of work that help me. And then like for this podcast, I'll set an alarm for 3 days, one day, 1 hour, and then 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll set an alarm like that, and then that 3 day reminder is like, okay, I need to follow up with this person and make sure that we're still on and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Similar concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was actually talking to my mom about this the other day. Like I feel like I have so much going on that like it's getting and now like so my job ebb and flows, and there's like a busy period where I have to work a bunch of hours and stuff like that, and like juggling that with everything else that I have outside of work gets very hard. And it's like, okay, how can I get better at time management?
Yeah.
And I heard someone say, "What remarkably stupid thing are you doing every day?" And if you think about that, it's like, oh, like doom scrolling on your phone
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, what kind of distractions do you run into?
Yeah, definitely my phone. That's one reason why I'm using alarms and not my calendar, because I'll find myself checking my calendar
Mm,
and then I'll see there's an email or a Facebook notification or something. And so I check it.
yeah.
And if I just have an alarm that I just turn off and
Mm,
it says something like, time to get math done or whatever,
yeah.
then I go, oh yeah, we got to get math.
Interesting.
And rather than being distracted, because I don't know if I have ADD,
Yeah.
been undiagnosed, or if
Yeah.
it's just normal for everyone to be like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's helped.
And you've kind of been doing this for so long that it's kind of like the norm for you,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's I mean, I'm sure it gets stressful, but do you feel that stress anymore?
I do, especially in the spring, during the spring market when I have a lot of real estate work
Uh,
and the kids are still in sports and we're still in school, and I do get overwhelmed in the spring. Yes.
okay. Interesting.
Once the spring market passes, though, to July,
Yeah.
typically I don't feel it. But I did go to this doctor for my anxiety or stress. I guess it was just stress, and because I was overwhelmed when this was several years ago. My kids were homeschooling. I had probably 7 of them homeschooling at once. And then also in sports.
Wow.
And then some of them had jobs that they couldn't drive to because they weren't driving yet. And I just, and then I had Levi and all of Levi's appointments and care and all of the things that go with that. I felt very overwhelmed. And I went to this holistic practitioner who told me that I had the choice to be stressed.
Whoa.
And I said, how? How is that possibly a choice? And he said, well, that feeling that you feel when you can't get everything done, you have a choice to say, I'm not going to feel stressed. I can just take a deep breath and say, it will get done when it gets done, or it won't get done. And that's okay. And I started applying that, and it does help a lot.
Really? Okay. I was gonna say it's like there's a Bob Newhart. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I do.
There's a Bob Newhart video. Everybody check it out. It's a really great like segment. I think it was on SNL or something like that. But he plays a therapist,
Okay.
and he goes, all right, so all my sessions I charge by the minute, and I only need 5 minutes max, and also I only take cash. And
Okay.
this is I charge $20 a minute or whatever the amount was, right? And so this lady comes in and she goes, "Okay, that sounds crazy, but and he goes, "All right, so tell me about your problems." And she goes, "Well, I'm scared that I'm gonna be buried. I'm scared of close spaces, something along those lines." And he goes, "All right, I have 2 words for you, and this should solve everything." And she goes, "Okay, should I write it down?" "No, no, you don't need to do that. You should be able to remember these 2 words." And then he goes, "All right, you ready?" And she goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Stop it." And
And that worked.
and, and she was like offended and all that. It goes on, and there's an ending that's just absolutely hysterical. But it's interesting that you had this therapist that basically said you're the cause of the stress, or you can stop the stress, and you're able to stop it just by thinking about stopping it.
Right.
That seems a little wild to me.
But it worked.
It worked.
Because I would feel those feelings rising up in me, and I would feel so overwhelmed, and I would remember, I can take a deep breath and I don't have to feel these feelings. I still have to go. I might be late. I can solve this by saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I might be 5 minutes late." Or, "What's the worst thing that can happen if I'm 5 minutes late to pick up my kid from football?" The coach might have to wait for 5 minutes, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the end of anyone's world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's interesting. I try not to say kids' names that I coach or anything like that, but we had a kid that was coaching, older than Levi. He's no longer playing. You might be able to connect the dots, but he would play, especially in matches, and he would just get out of his element, right? And he would just beat himself up for missing a shot or whatever else, and that would just be like a downward spiral. And one of the things that helped was just him saying, "Hey, this is just a game. This doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things," and not taking it so seriously, So the other thing that I thought about was gratitude. I think people get caught up in the whirlwind of just doing things, and that gratitude of just like stopping, looking at where you are in the moment and saying, "Wow, like this is I love what I've built. I love where I am," and just stopping and thinking about that. What do you think about that concept?
That's an awesome point. That's an awesome concept. And I notice when I'm doing the best emotionally, mentally, whatever, is when I will start my morning before I get out of bed, and with 3 gratitudes. I lay in bed and I think of 3 new things that I'm grateful for, whether it's, the sun is shining, and I'm so thankful that I get to wake up to the sunshine instead of the darkness today.
Yeah.
Or I'm so thankful that I have a comfortable bed, or just anything like, "Oh, I'm so thankful for my new slippers." I mean, just any silly thing like that. But just being thankful every day for something different, it helps you. It just sets your mentality to have an attitude of gratitude, and not and just be help you be in the moment, right?
Yeah. I love that. Okay, let's get into homeschooling, family life, and all that. So, talk to me about homeschooling. How did you get started with it? All that.
Okay. So just to be clear, we have homeschooled, and our kids have gone to public school, and they've gone to private school, and we've done a lot of different things. And whatever works that year is kind of what we do, and whatever works for that particular child sometimes, that's what we do. At one point, Liam went to public school where the rest of them were homeschooling, but Liam was adopted from China and had English, was a barrier for him. And so teaching him wasn't the easiest thing for me to do. And so I sent him to school where they could help him. And so I'm not like opposed to school. It typically works better for my kids personally.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
And we've done a lot of different things, but Steve really wanted us to homeschool, my husband.
Okay.
He did not enjoy school. He did
Oh.
not like sitting down, being quiet, listening, learning in a boring way. He's more of a hands-on learner.
Mm.
And our kids, some of them are great at school, and some of them don't do so well in school, right? For those very reasons. It seems like my girls do fine. My boys don't. They don't like to sit and just listen.
Yeah.
To this day. So we did homeschool for a while, and then I put my kids in school for a couple of years just to give it a try because it was very overwhelming for me just to always be. It's just a lot of responsibility to make sure that your children are literate, well-rounded, up to grade level on math, and getting all the other things are easy. But for me, making sure writing, reading, arithmetic, that you're doing a good enough job.
Yeah.
And when you have all of them in different levels, it can be pretty challenging. But when I became very committed to it was after my son Ethan, who is 24 now, went to kindergarten, and it was the last day of school. His teacher was retiring, and she's such a nice lady. And I said, you know what? You should go thank her. Go thank her for teaching you this year. And he said, she's teaching me? I said, yeah, that's what we're here for. And he said, she's always just standing up there talking. I never know what she's talking about.
Oh my gosh.
What, Ethan? He said, yeah. And I don't know how to read anymore. She unlearned me to read.
What?
So, yeah, because he went into kindergarten reading at a second grade level.
Yeah.
But we did phonics, and they were doing sight words, and it was not computing with him. And I said, okay, just go thank her for teaching you this year, and thank her and give her the present. And he very matter-of-factly said, thank you for unteaching me how to read.
Oh my gosh.
And I thought, okay, this is not the right fit for him. And so everybody was homeschooled the next year.
Wow.
Yeah. And also Austin, my second born, was struggling for similar reasons. He just didn't like the format of school and struggled with just having to be quiet and sit all day.
Yeah.
And so it was a much better fit for them, for my kids.
Yeah. Interesting. Just a quick side story. So when I was going into a school in kindergarten, I met the principal ahead of time, and my mom tells me this story, and it's like an oh my gosh story, let's say. But I met the principal, and at some point I asked, "Are you pregnant?"
Goodness.
And the principal said no.
Oh, goodness.
But it gets worse. I then said, geez, it looks like you have 7 in there, or something along those lines.
No.
Yeah. And of course, my parents were mortified that I said that.
Course. Yeah. Of course.
But yeah, so you mentioned but before the podcast, ADHD and stuff like that. So I was diagnosed with ADHD in 4th grade. I'm curious, and feel free to not answer this or tell me to move on. But I'm curious what your thoughts are with ADHD medicine and stuff like that.
Okay. Austin was diagnosed with ADHD. Ethan also. Levi also, but I definitely don't think it's accurate.
Yeah.
We tried medicine for all of them, and it just changed their personality.
Yeah.
They just were very flat, and zombie-like, and they didn't like the way they felt, and I didn't like it either. And I understand why teachers give it to kids, because they have to sit still.
Yeah.
And if you have ADHD, or maybe if you don't, and you're just a normal kid, it's easier to medicate them.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it 100%, and I can go into that later. But it didn't work for my kids.
Yeah.
It didn't work. And so what worked better for them was homeschooling and just being able to sit on the floor and do their schoolwork, or wiggle, or learn via video versus boring, just having someone read a book to you or something. And they are much more hands-on. They learn much more. They remember it better. So
Can you pull that mic closer?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I keep on feeling like it's
No,
gonna
you're
get
good.
me.
I know, right? Yeah, that's interesting, and I feel like you can control the pace of homeschooling and take a break, or
Right.
you know, if it's too much and all that. So that's interesting. What does a typical school day look like, or what did when you had
All
all
of
your
them?
kids?
Yeah. Wow. So a typical school day now is a lot different than then because with 2 kids, you can be a lot more laid back,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now the kids get up. I want them downstairs by 10.
Mm,
They eat. We start school by 11.
mm.
They're usually done by 2.
Oh wow.
And then they can hang out and do whatever they want.
Mm,
Typically, I want them to go out and hit balls or bounce a basketball or take the dogs for a walk or ride their bike or they're older now. They're 15 and 16, so it's a little bit different.
yeah.
But that's flexible now. When I had all 8 of them at home, it was much more rigorous.
Yeah.
So we would get up early and we'd all have breakfast and then we'd all meet at the dining room table
Mm,
and everyone would bring their respective books out
mm,
and I would literally just walk around and help each and every one of them with things that they needed. The
mm.
older they were, the more independent they could be
Right.
and they could take their stuff to their room or wherever they wanted to be.
Right.
Where the littler ones needed a lot more hands-on.
Yeah. Did you ever have the older kids helping the little kids?
Yeah, yeah, and I still do.
Yeah.
I still do. Liam still lives at home, and he is 21 on paper. Not
Mhm.
really sure how old he actually is.
Okay.
He's probably actually 18,
Okay.
but he graduated last year. But he still lives at home and works for Steve's company.
Mm.
And so I'm not so good at the upper math.
Mm.
Like if I don't ever use it,
Mm-hmm.
I never needed it.
Yeah.
And so you don't use it, you lose it, right? And I just don't remember how to do algebra 2
Mm.
at all.
Yeah.
So Liam does. It's fresh for him. So he comes in if Ella needs help, he helps her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that helps teach leadership and
Mhm.
like I don't know. There's a lot of useful skills in that. That'd be yeah. Anyway, go
Yeah.
ahead. You were
Yeah.
about to say
And
something.
Ella helps Levi
Yeah.
for me. So, he's so much better at math than I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there with him like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. And I'm watching the video over and over again. And he's like, Mom, I get it. Just forget it.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't get it and I don't understand it, then I have to pull Ella in, and she does a great job with him.
Mm.
And I do think peer on peer teaching works so well.
Yeah.
And so if she helps him write a paper, he's much more interested in doing it
Yeah.
than if Mom's just sitting there doing it with him. So we do a lot of
So true.
family teaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What is if a mom is looking into homeschooling or dad,
Yeah.
if parents are looking into homeschooling, what advice would you give them on where to start, how to start, all that?
I would say just start doing some research.
Mm.
Learn about what your kid's learning style is.
Mhm.
Learn about your own personality first
Mm.
and see if you are a very strict type A rigid person,
Mhm.
there are curriculums that will fit that.
Ah.
If you are a type B mom like me and
Mhm.
you can kind of wing it a little bit and you like to be more flexible, there's plenty of options out there for you too.
Yeah.
And nothing has to look the same. But just get some books and read it or look online and read some blogs about what has worked for other people.
Yeah.
And there are so many different styles of homeschooling.
Yeah. Is Steve type A or type B?
Steve is type AB.
Okay.
When
Okay.
Steve's working, he's type A.
Yeah.
And when he's done, he is type B.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh shoot, I had another question that I thought of. It had to do obviously with homeschooling. Do you do group homeschooling?
yeah, we do. We joined a group I love. It's called Help in Milford.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a la carte. There are tutors for every class that the kids want to take.
Cool.
And so, yeah, there's nothing rote. It's not like we all go for the same classes. It's just Levi's taking audio engineering and computers and fun things like that. Ella's doing musical theater and crime scene science.
Cool.
And there are just some fun classes,
Okay,
that they're
yeah,
taking.
yeah.
But they get to be with other kids. And then she's also taking a writing class, and it's taught by someone who's actually a college professor.
Mm.
but also a homeschool mom.
Mm.
So she's teaching that class. So I feel like she's getting much better instruction than I would be able to give her.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah.
Interesting. My mom did group
Oh,
homeschooling.
your mom homeschooled too?
She didn't homeschool us,
Okay.
but she did teach. She's a special ed teacher.
Oh, yeah.
So she has worked in public schools, and she also has run like a science class and
Cool.
for homeschoolers. Well, I think it was my brother who's homeschooled for like maybe a year or two. But yeah, she gave us the option to do it, and neither of us. I don't
Didn't
think
want to
any
do
of
it.
us really took her up on that offer.
Yeah.
So, um,
My mom offered to homeschool me too, and I didn't want to do it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the public school misses that you think you strive to incorporate into your homeschooling?
Well, it's so hard for a public school to really teach individual kids.
Yeah.
They have to teach the masses.
Yeah.
And things get missed, right? And there's just no way that they can be everything to everybody.
Yeah.
So when you're homeschooling your kids, you can cater their education style, their learning style to their abilities.
Yeah.
And some of my children absolutely love reading to learn, and some of my kids struggle to read.
Yeah.
And so it makes that a very difficult mode, right,
Yeah.
of education for them.
Yeah.
So you can cater to them where I mean, it's too much to even expect a public school to be able to cater to every individual
Yeah.
child. There's just too many of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. I've never been much of a reader myself,
Yeah.
but I found podcasting.
Yeah.
And the amount of knowledge and stuff that I've gained from podcasting, and I normally like 1.75 to 2x depending on
Yeah.
who's speaking, and
Yeah.
you know, I can listen to a podcast while driving or while working, or
Right.
when I'm not like super focused on something.
Right.
But yeah, so it's that the catering to the different learning styles I think is super important, and is definitely something that's missed sometimes in schools, because they try to do these group things, and then like not everybody learns at the same pace,
Right.
and they try to teach everybody at the same pace, and that's just not always appropriate.
Not always. It's never really appropriate, really, if
Yeah.
you think about it. If you're
That's true.
right, never.
Yeah.
I will. If you're teaching me math,
Yeah.
I'm going to bring the classroom way back,
Yeah.
because that is not my forte.
Mhm.
Once I got past, basic math, teaching me algebra and geometry, I'm like, I can't even understand the concept or why we're learning this.
Yeah.
So I can't keep up.
Right.
Where Steve excels in math.
Right.
And so that would really be frustrating to him.
Right.
Right. But then I would just get left in the dust if they come up with him. So that's why that's why we homeschool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Talk to me about so the going deeper into the one of the last questions that I asked you. What, like, for example, I think business is a
Yeah.
really important thing for kids to learn. I've also, as I've been doing MMA, and the MMA culture itself kind of teaches you like discipline, and like one of the first rules in like MMA is, if you get into an altercation, run. Right? Like, don't use what you have to destroy somebody, or like take somebody out or something like that. Like, try to de-escalate, right? And then if you do have somebody coming at you, you know how to defend yourself.
Smart.
Yeah. So things like that, and like, I don't know. Me personally, I would love everybody to learn MMA, so that they can learn those lessons. So I'm curious, from me mentioning business to MMA, what are some skills that you think are absolutely critical that the public school doesn't teach, or like some subjects rather?
Oh, well, yeah, money. Money specifically.
Yeah.
Also free thought.
Yeah.
I don't feel like my kids were. I had to like de-school them for a while, because they were so. Well, after I put them in for a while, I realized they kind of lost the ability to think independently.
Yeah.
They are trained to think as they are told to think. And I think that that's one thing.
Yeah.
Another thing is money, how to manage your money, how to make money, really how to make money independently
Yeah.
without having to have a job per se, be an entrepreneur. There's just not a lot of that.
Yeah, no, there's not. And I think to me that's crazy. Like when I graduated high school, I had really like there were topics that I was interested in, but I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I got to college and I switched my major 5 times, and
Common.
it's like, yeah, it is common, and it's like, wait, how am I 18 and haven't been taught by the schools where I should focus in life?
Mm.
Like, that's kind of crazy to me.
Right. But also, alternatively,
I'm sorry.
oh, it's my fault.
you.
I think I'm in your way. Yeah. How are we supposed to, without a doubt, know what we want to do with our entire life when we're 18?
Yeah.
That's hard.
Right.
But both are difficult, right?
Mhm.
And how do we prepare people for that?
Right.
Right? And I don't know. I still don't know that answer to that question
Yeah.
fully.
No, I'm just moving my foot around. You're
That's all
good. You
right.
can put your foot back.
I'll kick you back.
I know, right? Yeah, I was moving my feet, guys, and I just kept kicking Jen. So, I
was
also,
in the way.
I also can't feel my feet,
Oh,
and so like there's also a pole under here, and like sometimes it's like hard to tell if I'm kicking the pole or somebody else.
that
but,
makes sense.
you know, your legs moved a little bit more when I kicked you, so I can tell because it's like, oh, that wasn't stationary. I just kicked Jen.
Jen moved.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else about homeschooling that you want to bring up, or just family life in general?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't come in with all these like prepared
No, it's okay.
statements. I'm sorry.
You don't need to. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I just think that we all need to remember how important family is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes we get busy
Yeah.
and we get distracted
Mm-hmm.
and we take everybody for granted.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They're growing up, and people told me when my kids were young that the days are long, but the years are short.
Mm.
And I didn't understand it. I was like, whatever, these days are long, and I'm looking forward to them going,
Yeah.
And now I would give anything to just go back to some of those days
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy them rather than being always so task-minded and getting through,
Yeah.
which of course I had to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I wish there was a way that I would have found balance then to relax more with them and just enjoy them rather than always keeping them on a schedule. Like dinner's at 6 every night because then, this has to happen and that has to happen. I wish I could have relaxed more then, like I do now. I think that's why grandparents enjoy their grandkids so much because they're not so task-minded and they just get to enjoy.
Right.
And I wish we could have. I'm trying to find that with my younger two, at least now. And I think I'm doing better with it, but heck, it flies, man. It flies.
It does.
All of a sudden I'm blinking and I'm waking up in the morning thinking, I'm 49.
Yeah.
I'm almost 50.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't remember what I've done my whole life.
Right. Right.
I basically spent my life, but I did it and I have pictures to remember. And I go, oh yeah, I did enjoy that.
Yeah, right. Right.
Also take pictures. Those are important things.
Take pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Important. But anyway.
Yeah, the taking pictures and collecting the memory, it's awesome. But there are people out there that would say, don't let taking pictures distract you from the moment. Right?
I know,
Like,
and that's a balance.
kind of like a catch-22.
I know it is. I know.
Like you want to remember the moment, but also like you want to be in the moment.
I want to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, so it's time for one of my favorite segments, the wheelie. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's time for the wheelie bad jokes segment.
Oh
so
my!
I'm
looking for that.
Yeah, the way this works is I'm going to tell you a joke. I want you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
And if you have a funny joke, you're welcome to say that. Most people don't have a funny joke to say back, but you can share one if you have one. So,
okay.
You ready?
Ready.
By the way, I don't have a wife, but this is about my wife, so to speak. But okay, so the joke is, my wife asked me to put ketchup on the shopping list. Now I can't read anything.
Exactly. That's a pretty good joke.
Yeah, scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
I would rate that one a 7. I'd say because it's It's funny because it's true.
Yeah. So it was interesting. I plan all my episodes with ChatGPT, and
Oh, okay.
I was asking it to give me a disability joke.
Okay.
And and time again, it kept telling me that it couldn't give me a disability joke because it's too offensive or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, ChatGPT, I'm in a wheelchair. I need this.
I'm not. It is funny. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I'm not asking you to find an offensive joke about disability. Just give me a joke about disability.
Yeah.
And I by the way, this joke is from a guy that I follow on socials. His name's Logan Lyle, and if you haven't seen his channel, he's great. He's got 1 million followers, and all he does is tell dad jokes with other people on a
Funny.
doc. And it's great. I love his jokes. A couple of his disability jokes were, I've told one already, and then the other one wasn't horribly appropriate. So,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so let's just. But it sounds like you don't have a joke to tell back, correct?
Don't.
That's all
I'm not,
right. That's
I'm
all
not a
right.
dad. I don't have
Yeah,
dad
yeah,
jokes.
yeah. It's okay. I do. Being that I have the shirt. This is how I roll.
Yeah.
I always try to wear a funny dad joke shirt with all my for all my podcasts. So whether it's mine or one that I've bought or whatever else. So. Okay, let's get into Levi a little bit.
Okay.
This is probably one of the most anticipated segments that I've been wanting to talk to you about. So Levi and I have the same disability, or the same cause of disability. Let's say spina bifida,
Mm-hmm.
which just so everybody knows, it's a birth defect. Your spinal cord, in our cases, was sticking out of our back, and it paralyzed us. But before we get into Levi's disability, can you just tell us about who Levi is and all that?
Yes. Levi is the light of my life. He is just like the sweetest boy. I adore him so much. And so Levi was born with spina bifida. And do you want me to tell you about his personality or his medical? What are we talking about here?
Dealer's choice. You take it wherever you want to go.
Okay. Levi, golly, he's just a fun kid. He's such a good boy and such a sweetheart. He's adopted. We got him at birth. His birth mom was 19 and didn't feel that she had the support necessary to parent him as well as she wanted to. And so she chose our family. There were 7 families that wanted to adopt him. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So we adopted him. Thankfully, they picked us. So
Okay.
that was a big, exciting day for us.
Okay.
Before he was born. So although we weren't in the room with him when he was born because she went into labor early and ended up having him on Christmas Day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got him on the 28th of December. His back was closed the 26th, and so then we got him maybe the 27th. We got him right after. And anyway, so he's been our baby since birth. And he's been such a source of joy. And being his mom has really thrown us into a completely different community of people that we were not aware of. I mean, if you don't have someone close to you that it has a disability, you just really don't know anything about it. And we've been drinking from a fire hose ever since.
Yeah.
So it's a community that I'm so thankful to be a part of. I think it's a great community of people.
Yeah.
And it's been great for us. So I've learned so much, and I have so much more to learn.
So it's interesting. I actually, I don't, you might have told me this at one point, but I thought you had Levi. And I don't know that I knew. I knew you have adopted kids, but I didn't think Levi was one of those kids. That's interesting. One of the things I love about this podcast is I find things out about people that I've known for a while, and anyway, so I'm curious. So a lot of people would say, why on earth would you adopt a child with a disability? Why wouldn't you want a quote unquote normal child?
Oh, I don't know. It didn't cross my mind.
Really?
He was just a baby who was being born, who needed a mom
Okay.
and a dad and a family.
Hmm.
And honestly, this is going to sound really crazy. And I know people think I'm nuts, and I am not like a woo woo spiritual person.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a very pragmatic, practical, logical human being.
Yeah.
And before Levi was born, we were not looking at adopting again. We had adopted Liam um, in March, I guess April. We came home with him, and this was probably like before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I just had this like, I don't know how to explain it, like an impression in my heart that God had another child coming for us.
Wow.
And I told my husband, and he was like, okay. I said, no, I think it's a baby, and I think he's close. I think it's a boy, and I think he's coming soon. And my husband he literally patted me on the head, and he was like, okay. Like, what kind of a crazy thing is this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know this seems really weird, but it's true. This is what I believe. And if it doesn't happen, fine. Well, fast forward probably 2 weeks, I get an email from someone in our church
Okay.
that there's a baby boy being born in
Wow.
Columbus to a teenage mom
Oh.
who has spina bifida. They've been trying to place him since 20 weeks. Hadn't been able to, so they reached out to their ministry. They have a ministry to adoption.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Shepherd's Crook. And the Rosenos are friends of ours. But anyway, I said, oh yeah, we'll take him without even calling Steve.
That's great.
Yeah. And so I called Steve afterwards. I was like, oh, hey, by the way, I forgot to tell you this happened. And I told them we'd take the baby. And he was like, what? I think you should have asked me. I was like, yeah, I should have. You're so right. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I'm writing the letter to the birth mom right now. And he's like, oh, okay. All right. And so we submitted our letter, and we were one of 7 families, I guess.
Yeah.
And they chose us.
Wow.
Well, Megan chose us.
Okay.
So, and Megan,
So the mom.
chose us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we didn't know right away. Of course, we waited several weeks, and we were actually on our way home from Perfect North, grabbing takeout from Skyline through the window when I got the call, and the whole van erupted with joy. So
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So why did she tell you why she picked you?
She liked our family.
Okay.
She liked the fact that we were younger. Because she was young, and I think she felt like she could relate more to us, but also because we already had an adopted child, and she felt like we were able to love him. And I think also financially we were stable, which of course is a huge thing. And she liked that we were Christians.
Yeah. Okay.
Because she was raised Catholic.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. Interesting. And so you knew that he had spina bifida before you even like considered adopting him and all that. What went through your head? Like, was there any doubts or like
None? No.
Wow.
Just we'll figure it out. My thoughts were, okay, worst case scenario, he can't walk. Whoop-de-doo. Like, he can roll, right? Which, of course, has brought challenges that I wasn't really aware of in my novice information, and I didn't know. But, I just figured we'd figure it out, and we have.
Yeah.
And it was easier when we could carry him.
Yeah.
Now he's as big as me, so that's a little harder, but.
Right. Well, I remember I went out west with my family when I was, I don't know, 4 or 5, and we hiked through a whole bunch of different areas, and I was on crutches at that point, and I couldn't walk that far.
Right.
And so my sister mostly, she carried me on her back, and my older brother helped out, but it was a big part my sister who was carrying me through that. So. Yeah, that's interesting. So let's go back to I want to ask one of maybe a controversial, maybe not controversial, but like formula is I think in some spaces frowned upon, let's say.
What?
Have you heard that before?
Formula?
Yeah.
Like baby formula?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like breast milk is like
Best.
better and
Oh, it is. I mean,
stuff like that.
argue. I mean, you can't even argue that.
Sure.
It's definitely much better.
Yeah. I guess the other question, did you adopt all your kids when they were babies?
No.
Okay.
Levi was the only one we got at birth.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Liam was older, somewhere between 3 and
Okay.
5, maybe.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
Yeah.
Adrian and Ella were a kinship adoption, so
Yeah.
they were family already.
Mhm.
We got Adrian; he was 9. Ella was a year old. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. And let's just focus on Levi with this. Does he is he connected with his mom and dad or
No, he does not want to be.
okay?
He wouldn't believe me that he was adopted. He argued with me.
Of course. That's so Levi.
I know. He would argue with me. I told him his birth story from the time he was a baby, like when you were growing in Megan's tummy.
Yeah.
And then God gave you, to us, and we're so thankful. Like we told that story to him all the time. And he was 7 or 8. And he argued with me. He's like, I did not grow in Megan's tummy. I grew in your tummy. Like, no, you grew in my heart. You grew in Megan's tummy, and that's just how it worked. No, he would not believe it until maybe last year.
Yeah.
And so he's asked some questions about that, and
Mhm.
I've shown him pictures, and I've explained the whole situation, and he believes me now.
That's great.
But he's like, but I look like Dad. Like, you look exactly like your dad.
Yeah.
Doesn't really look
I mean, that was kind of my thought too, and maybe why I forgot or didn't realize that he was adopted. So, okay, and I think the other maybe assumption that I made was I don't think there's a lot of parents, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that would want to adopt a disabled kid.
I know several.
Do you?
I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
I do. On the hockey team that Levi plays on, there are several adopted kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, dozens, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a certain kind of person.
Yeah.
Well, I think there are certain people who are frightened by it or,
Yeah.
don't want to do it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry if I'm kicking you. Okay.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, I know several.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so talk to me about the journey now of you get a kid with spina bifida.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things early on when at this basically 2 days after he was born?
Right. Yeah.
What kind of struggles and stuff that did he go through?
Oh, goodness. So they didn't place a shunt, obviously, right at birth. Although I think they probably should have, but I'm glad that they didn't because I was able to be there.
Yeah.
He needed it suddenly, like maybe day 3, 4. He began losing some CSF from his myeloclosure, and it became very apparent.
CSF.
Oh, cerebral spinal fluid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Speaking lingo here. Sorry. But it became very apparent that he needed to. His fontanelle was puffy and hard, and it was bad. So for emergency surgery, placed the shunt. And then from that point on, there were so many things really that came up. He had paralyzed vocal cords because he had a Chiari malformation.
Real quick, just for everybody that doesn't know it, a shunt is something that they put in your head. It pumps fluid out of your brain because you have a buildup. A lot of kids with spina bifida have a buildup of cerebral spinal fluid, or of fluid in the brain that could potentially cause brain damage or even death. And so it's really important to get a shunt in so that's prevented.
Yes, thank you.
So anyway,
I forget that this isn't normal for everyone.
I know.
It's so normal for me now.
Yeah.
It wasn't normal for me then.
Yeah.
At all, because when they brought him out from surgery, they told me it would be internal and you wouldn't be able to see it. And that is a complete falsehood.
Yeah.
It looked like someone shoved a Matchbox car under my baby's skull.
Right.
I fainted. I fainted into a chair and cried. It was horrible. They had to bring the clergy in. I mean, I was I was just so, I don't know. It just was so new to me and scary.
Yeah.
Thinking about what did they just do to him? Although it's totally fine now.
Yeah.
Can't see it. It's fine.
Right.
And it saved his life. So, they're just learning curves
Yeah.
that you have to go through as a mom.
Right.
Anyway, then his vocal cords were paralyzed because he had something called a Chiari malformation, which
Okay.
is basically, do you have one?
I do.
You have a Chiari?
Mm-hmm.
Have you been decompressed or is it?
Yeah, I've had the Chiari surgery.
Okay. So it's basically when the spinal cord is outside of the body, it pulls on the brain, pulling the brainstem down into the nape of the neck a bit. And that can cause other problems, right? And for Levi, it caused his vocal cords to be paralyzed. So he was struggling to like suck, swallow, breathe. And then he got really bad stridor, which is like, so his vocal cords were paralyzed shut.
Whoa.
Scary. And
I haven't heard of that. That's interesting.
It was not good. It was terrible. A lot of times it happens after like a shunt malfunction.
Yeah.
Which he did have very quickly after it was placed. Had to replace it. Anyway, they wanted to trach him, which is why you sometimes see a kid with spina bifida with a trach. It has a lot to do with their Chiari, their vocal cords. Well, I did not want that for him if I could avoid it, right?
Right.
So we found, thank God, this doctor in Cincinnati. His name is Dr. Rudder. He is a brilliant man. And he had a dream.
Whoa.
And he thought it just might work for Levi.
Whoa.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were inpatient in Columbus because that's where Levi was born. And his neurosurgeon called Dr. Rudder for me directly and got me in with him. They let us leave on a Friday night. We had an appointment Monday morning. Dr. Rudder said, and he's got this amazing New Zealand accent, which I cannot emulate, but he said, I had a dream and I think it just might work for Levi. And I said, okay. So explain it to me.
Right.
And there had been a procedure done. It was okay. It was dangerous. It was called a cricoid split. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Blabbering on?
No. I want I want the details.
Okay. So I'm just amazed by this. How God has been. This to me, this is just how God has been with Levi every step of the way. And I'm so thankful. Not that there haven't been challenges and there haven't been problems, but this is just such a major thing. I had been praying that God would just give somebody an idea, a new thought, a new plan, like help us find this person, whoever this may be. And here he was right here in Cincinnati, and he had never done this surgery before. And Levi was his first test subject.
Wow.
And he said, I think it just might work. And so he did a posterior anterior cricoid split, which is now a common thing. It happens all over the world now.
Oh, wow.
And they basically split the cricoid in the front and the back. And they used the intubation tube as a stint to let it heal back.
Okay.
So he was sedated for 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Which was really, really hard.
Yeah.
Yes. Talk about mental. I went sort of a bit psychosis, but anyway, it was horrible for me. But because we were in ICU all that time with him, but it worked.
Yeah.
And Levi didn't have to have a trach, and he breathes normally. And actually, eventually, now that he's grown, his vocal cords work appropriately.
Yeah.
But at the time, he needed them fixed, and so that was that. And then, of course, we've had other things like hip surgeries and spinal cord unthetherings, and and then he had most recently that he got scoliosis, crazily bad, so fast.
Yeah.
And now his spine has been fused, and that was also a pretty crazy experience. We were in Delaware for 2 months.
Yeah.
He was in a halo for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild, but he's doing great.
Yeah. So let's back up real quick to him being sedated for 2 months. And
no, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, I said months. I did mean weeks. Thank you for correcting me. But yeah, so for sedated for 2 weeks, and you said that you went a little crazy.
I did.
Can you dive into that? And real quick, I want to preface this with like one of the things that's so important to me is hopefully there's a parent that's listening to this, that's going through something similar.
Absolutely.
And to take what you've learned and what you've gone through and know that they're not alone, or take skills that you've learned along the way to be able to get through it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So anyway, can you share the?
The
Yeah, he's
the
going a
the
little crazy.
the formal diagnosis, I think, was ICU psychosis.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, and
Interesting.
it's a very common thing. Parents can have it, kids can have it, patients, anybody. You're just so isolated,
Oh.
and you are so stressed for so long
Mm,
that and you won't give yourself a break
mm,
because you're there with your tiny fragile baby or child or loved one or whatever,
mhm.
right? And you're not eating properly. You're not sleeping at all.
Yeah.
There's constant beeping and constant
Mm,
turmoil all around you.
nurses coming in and out, and
Yeah, and
yeah.
just hearing especially in the ICU, because you hear terrible things going on all around you. It is just mentally difficult,
Yeah.
emotionally, mentally difficult.
Right.
And I would not take any breaks because I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't leave him. I just was absolutely certain that somebody would do something wrong or something would happen. I didn't want any noise in the room because he was sedated, and
Mm,
the quieter the room, the less the sedation. So I wouldn't even turn the TV on.
mm,
So I literally read A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens,
okay.
cover to cover,
Okay.
while sitting there.
Wow.
Not the most uplifting book. Not a
Right.
good choice. Don't do that. Do something else.
Okay.
um, I just did everything quiet, and I kept it dark. I just was not doing. It was stupid.
Mm,
It was my first rodeo, really.
yeah.
Um, so I was like one step away from the arts and crafts room, the rubber room, or something. I think they're gonna put me away.
Mm,
But yeah. Oh, back to the breastfeeding and formula thing.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Levi could not tolerate formula.
Mm,
And none of it. All of the best, most expensive stuff you could buy, he could not digest it
oh.
because of his neurogenic bowels. He could not go to the bathroom, no matter
Oh.
what I did. Then if I gave him all that Miralax, which, by the way, it's not really a good thing to give a baby a lot of,
Yeah.
like every day. It's
Okay.
got some side effects that can cause long-term damage neurologically, which no one
Whoa.
talks about. But
Okay.
I've done my research, and I wish I never gave it to him.
Okay.
So I found a wonderful website called onlythebreast.com.
Okay.
It was actually recommended to me by one of the nurse practitioners at the hospital.
Yeah.
And there were moms there willing to sell or donate breast milk.
Oh.
My friend Susie donated breast milk to me because
Right.
her son was in the ICU. And long story short, she had a ton of milk. So Levi did have breast milk.
Wow.
And I had two milk moms who we're
Okay.
still friends with today.
Yeah.
Lori and another one who's moved to the Philippines. But Lori kept Levi alive, and she pumped for him long after she was done nursing her own
Yeah.
baby. So
Yeah.
it was a community-wide event. The village was really strong for Levi.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Going back to the 2 weeks of sedation.
mhm.
You mentioned kind of what you went through.
Oh, the reason I almost flipped my lid
Mhm.
was because they were dumping the breast milk. It was a long story. That's why that pushed me over the edge. That's what made me think of the breast milk. They were like thawing out his breast milk, which was precious to me,
Uh,
and like dumping a lot of it and wasting it. These young nurses who didn't know what they were doing, and I just
okay.
kind of flipped my lid there.
What
But
what made them want to do that?
oh my
Think
goodness.
they should do
I
that?
think because they thought it was mixing with water, because it was like in a plastic bag, and then
Uh-huh.
they'd have it in another bag, and then you'd have to put it in warm water. And I think they were thinking it was getting mixed with water, but it
Oh,
was just leaking through the bag. And I'm
okay.
like, where's all the milk? Why are we out? And they were dumping it. I think that was just like the last straw for me,
Okay.
But
And can you share how you reacted? And
yeah. I mean, I yelled at everybody.
okay.
I fully lost it, I think. It
Okay.
was like the straw that just broke my back.
Yeah.
And too, like they had to send in people. This is not the only time. I mean, they've had to send people to help me. But it is very scary and very stressful.
Of
And you are at
course.
your absolute worst
Yeah.
when you are in the hospital with your child being under, in duress.
Of
And
course.
so this is for the medical people out there. Please don't judge moms. We are not that person.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
When we're home, we're normal and
Sure.
great. But man, put parents in that situation.
Yeah.
You might. It's like a caged dog, like a
Yeah.
trapped animal.
Right. Right.
Feels that way.
Yeah. And so what pulled you through it, or was it just him coming out of sedation that did it?
My husband,
Okay.
Steve, came and forced me home.
Oh.
He forced me. He said, "You are going home. Go home." and sleep and take a shower and get some rest and eat.
Mm.
And he was right. He was so right. He stayed with Levi for 3 days,
Mm.
and I just was able to kind of decompress.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the best thing
Yeah.
for me.
So a parent going through that, what advice would you give them?
I mean, I would give them, if you have people to help you, accept it.
Yeah.
Take help, even if
Okay.
it's an hour
Yeah.
and you just need to. But I would say take more.
Mm.
You know, go home and sleep at night if you can. If there's somebody that you can trust to stay with your child,
Yeah.
just take advantage of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because you're a much better mom when you're sane,
Right.
right? When you have your faculties, and you can't be sane without sleep
Right.
or food.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
like good food.
Yeah.
Right? Like you
Yeah.
can't be living on chips like I did. I was living on like a granola bar for breakfast, and
Wow.
it's just not healthy.
Yeah.
It's okay to ask for help. I think
Yeah.
we want to be everything, but it's okay to ask for help.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, let's fast forward. So I guess we were kind of talking about his journey early on with the shunt, and you mentioned him having scoliosis. What other things did you go through growing as he grew up?
I think the hardest part and like the things we went through was him realizing his difference.
Mm.
That's the hardest part. Realizing that, you know, he and Ella were a year apart or are a year apart.
Mm-hmm.
And to see her be able to do things that he can't do. And just having him realize, like, okay, I'm not going to walk
Yeah.
the way that everyone else does. And for a while he did walk with a walker and things like that. And he was doing great, but you know, things change.
Mm.
And seeing him realize his disability and help him walk through that, you know, is that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the hardest thing.
Mm-hmm.
To help him find his identity, and not just feel so, I don't know, disappointed, I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
that he has this disability.
Yeah.
And have him look at you and say, why is this happening to me? Why me, Mom?
Yeah.
Buddy, I don't know. Right? This is just God's will for your life.
Mm.
And it's good.
Mm.
We can trust God. He is good, and we know that this is also good.
Mm.
One day when you're in heaven, your body will be perfectly new, and you will not you won't have disabilities anymore. But I don't know. That's been the hardest thing, I think.
So how long was he using a walker for?
Well, up until he was about 12.
Okay.
He could use a walker. He used a wheelchair, but he could use a walker.
Okay.
And, you know, therapeutically, and he was working really hard on being able to walk with forearm crutches and things like that. But then his scoliosis got so bad, and we got some really bad advice that he was probably tethered. Spinal cord was probably tethered. And then they did the surgery, and indeed it wasn't the problem. And what happened was it basically took him from being able to use his legs at all. He had like good hip flexion, good knee flexion, strength, strong quads, to having absolutely no feeling to the hip.
Whoa.
So he lost all of that. And
that was with the scoliosis surgery.
No, that was the untethering prior to scoliosis surgery.
Okay. I didn't realize he'd been through like multiple different paralyses, if you will. So.
That's probably been the most defeating and difficult thing to overcome, really.
And how old was he
12.
when he did that one?
12.
12. Wow. And so before 12, he mostly used a wheelchair, mostly used a walker.
No, he mostly used a wheelchair.
Okay.
But you know, transferring was so much easier, and he could stand and he could walk up and down the steps. He could. I'm sorry, everyone. I can't get used to this microphone.
It's okay. Everybody does it.
I feel like I'm like eating the microphone.
You're actually doing a lot better than most people.
Okay.
So
okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was probably the most difficult thing. We're still, as a family, trying to overcome some of those feelings.
Yeah.
The guilt of the mom who decided that she would listen to that doctor and do that surgery.
Right.
And that is something that keeps me up at night.
Yeah.
I hate that so much. She can't go back, right?
Right.
You just do the best you can, and you do what you think is right, and
Yeah.
sometimes you're wrong.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. I mean, you do what's best with the information that you have, and
yeah.
that's the best thing.
Mm.
What my best friend Matt is he got paralyzed during senior skip day
Oh no.
on the ski slopes, and yeah, actually
Mm.
he shared that, but what I was gonna say, I'll share offline with you, and I think there might be a similar theme there. Let's say
Mm.
so. I don't want to share that without his permission.
Sure.
So,
Sure. Sure.
but so that guilt, um, I'm sure there's, I'm sure you're not alone in that guilt with other parents and stuff like that. Are you comfortable diving into that a little bit more?
I mean, if you want me to cry,
No, I mean, if
I
you
don't
want to,
care. It's
I want to
okay.
be sensitive
I mean,
to.
only. I mean, if it helps somebody else, yeah, I'm fine with it. It's just
Yeah,
I don't talk about it a lot.
yeah, yeah, um,
I probably need therapy. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if it would help, right? So,
You might make me cry along the way too,
uh,
but um, so I guess talk to me about like it sounds like you might have regret.
tons. Yeah.
Um, but you were given the information
Right.
and you made a decision based on that information.
Right.
What what regret is that?
I think I just wish I would have researched it further
Mm,
and not just trusted what I was told. I
mm,
wish I would have looked into it further. I mean, we've had detetherings before and they went just fine.
yeah.
But what's unique about this one is I had like a gut instinct
Oh.
during before the surgery began, and I actually called the surgeon back out, and I
Oh.
almost told him to stop.
Oh my.
And but I thought you're just being emotional and weird,
Oh.
and I should have just trusted my gut. And of course, I never would have known
Right.
that I was right. Thank
Yeah.
God, I would have loved to have just always been a fool, right?
Right.
But I thought you're just being emotional. You're
Yeah.
just afraid. It's normal to be afraid.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I wish I would have listened to my gut,
Interesting.
which
Yeah.
is hard to tell anyone to follow in that, right? Like
Right.
you can't always make decisions based on that.
Right.
So it's just a tough spot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And it paralyzed Levi where he couldn't move his
right,
knees anymore. Is that?
knees to the hips. He couldn't feel his hips, and
Mm.
he looked up at his surgeon and said, "You killed my legs,"
Oh.
and he did.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. It's a hard one.
Yeah. I had reconstructive hip surgery, and they broke my femur in, I don't know, 3 different places to put it back into
Mhm.
socket, and I had a pin, um, which is still there. They said that they were supposed to take it out, and that never happened.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I have, I guess, like, bones it happened when I was in 6th grade. I was in a
Oh.
full body cast for 6
Oh
weeks, and,
my.
but, I don't have any feeling on, like, the skin
Mm.
of my left leg,
Mm.
and so it's affected the muscles where it's just a little weaker
Mm.
as well, but the way I describe it is like, if it's almost like there's a layer of dead skin, like
Mm.
a pretty thick layer of dead skin,
Mm.
and like I can feel like if you push on it, but like hot and cold I can't feel on the leg or anything like that. So it's interesting. But anyway, that I guess that's my paralysis story of that. Um, as far as so I guess let's fast forward to Levi's scoliosis surgery.
Yeah.
That was a journey that you
Massive.
guys went on.
Massive. Yes.
Can you start from the beginning of like of all that? I guess.
Yeah. So the untethering was the beginning, right? We
Mhm.
thought we needed that because I was hoping to get him what they consider like a flexible solution.
Yeah.
Um, there are options for some kids, typically not for kids with neuromuscular scoliosis, but I found 2 surgeons who were willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, but one of them wanted him to be untethered first to make sure it wasn't just a tethering issue. But I guess that's kind of old school, so it's not what we do anymore.
Okay.
Folks, don't do it unless you absolutely have to do your research and don't just do what they tell you to do. Like see 3 doctors or 4. Anyway, so we did that, and then we found this other that the doctor found a better option even than that doctor who recommended the untethering in Jersey, and they are amazing. They are amazing. Doctors, they call them Doctors ABC.
Okay.
It's Antonacci. I can't remember everybody else's name, but they were going to do the flexible surgery for Levi. We fly out there. We had been in a car accident, so it was a big one. Long story short, and I think it might have caused Levi's scoliosis to progress even more because he had some herniated discs from the accident. By the time we got to the surgeon's office and we were all checked in, we were ready to go. Levi's scoliosis had, we were in Jersey, admitted to the hospital, and they took the final X-ray, and his scoliosis had progressed so badly that they couldn't do. He was no longer a candidate. So they referred us to this other guy who is just a godsend. Dr. Gabos is his name, and he's out in Delaware.
Okay.
Pete Gabos, shout out to Pete. He's like a savior in our house. They referred us to him, who took Levi on as a patient and completely changed his life. Gave him back his mobility. Well, not quite, but like gave him back his independence, basically, be able to sit up because Levi was bending over like in half.
Whoa.
It was like he went from a 60 to 120 degree curve. So he was really, really bent.
Yeah.
And this guy did amazing things. It was a long journey.
Okay.
It was very hard on Levi.
Yeah.
There was 3 surgeries.
Wow.
But he got him upright again.
Okay.
So he can play tennis and hockey again. And he's through that, learned that he loves to cycle.
Yeah.
Because he used that as his post-surgery like therapy. And
awesome.
Yeah. So
as far as the scoliosis, and I've asked you this, but what if it didn't go corrected? What would happen?
Oh, he would have stayed that way until he couldn't, his organs would be crushed.
Yeah.
And his lungs weren't affected, but his kidney and his stomach and all of that were very affected. So.
Okay. And then, so he underwent 3 surgeries. And then was there talk before those surgeries? Well, I guess for either of the surgeries, the one for his tethered cord and then, the scoliosis, was there talk about like, hey, there's this percentage of him potentially being paralyzed or anything like that?
I mean, the untethering was, I guess like it's general common knowledge these days that it's like a 33% chance you'll improve, 33% chance you'll stay the same, 33% chance you'll get worse.
Whoa.
And it's not really great odds.
No.
So I wish I hadn't done it.
Yeah.
I just wish I hadn't done it.
Yeah. My Arnold Chiari surgery, I was in 7th grade.
Ooh, you were older.
Yeah. They had to take out half the first vertebrae to relieve pressure from my from my brain because it was causing me headaches. And I asked the doctor, which was so stupid of me, but I asked the doctor, I said, how many people have you killed doing the surgery?
Oh, gosh. Oh, goodness.
And he answered, he said 7.
Okay.
And he goes, but I've done thousands of these surgeries.
Oh,
and the kids that I did that did die during the surgery were a lot more deformed and, tried to give me some like hope in that. But oh man, like I was.
He was honest.
Petrified going into the surgery, and like it was mad. It was crazy. So
that's scary.
Luckily, it wasn't the worst surgery I've ever had.
Okay.
Which was kind of surprising as well.
Yeah, because that's a rough one. The Chiari one, that's a painful one.
Yeah, they were talking about how I had probably wake up in the intensive care unit and stuff like that. So I had a bladder augmentation. That was the worst one.
Really?
Yeah. It
Good
was
to know.
I couldn't eat for like 14 days, and
Oh,
they fed me fluid, and I had 2 tubes in my stomach,
oh,
and they had to pull those out, and they waited too long, and skin formed around the tubes,
oh
and
no.
yeah, I don't want to gross everybody out with
Oh
that,
man,
but
that's hard.
yeah, it was a pretty
Mm.
brutal surgery. So, um,
That's on the possibility for Levi. Uh, I don't want him to do it. Have you heard that they are growing bladders in labs?
no,
Human bladders out of stem cells. They're growing full bladders,
wow, that's
and
interesting.
they've done some like bladder transplants that have been successful.
Ah,
So I'm waiting. I'm hoping. We're trying to keep Levi from having to have the augmentation, and
yeah.
maybe we'll get him a whole new bladder
Yeah,
instead.
interesting. Well, we can talk offline about I guess everything about it if you're
Yeah,
curious or
yeah,
anything
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. But um, okay, so what happened with the scoliosis surgery with Levi and being further paralyzed?
Well, he's not further paralyzed.
He's
It's
not.
it's just that the detethering did that. But
Oh,
actually,
okay.
the scoliosis surgery actually brought back some
Oh,
because
wow.
like it's
Okay.
pulled on his. He still can't bear weight like he used to, but he has more ability to actually use his legs.
Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
That's fascinating. For some reason I thought it paralyzed him even more.
No, it just changed his whole
Yeah.
body structure. He
Yeah.
grew 6.5 inches overnight,
Yeah.
so his equilibrium was really off. He couldn't sit
Mhm.
up, he would fall. Just,
Yeah.
getting used to your body in a whole new
Yeah.
space like that
Yeah.
was a lot. His legs he was in a halo, which do
Mhm.
you know what that is? Like it's like a halo. They drill it into your skull and hang you
Mhm.
from a
Yeah.
weighted thing.
Keep you straight.
And during that time, his legs were actually he was able to kick his legs.
No.
Yeah, it was wild. So they thought that just the lengthening of his spine was helping.
Yeah.
Hindsight, I think I wonder if we would have detethered again. Would that have came back? I don't know. It was kind of scary to do that right
Yeah.
then.
Right.
I kind of wish we would have at least explored it more, but we didn't. But after his spine has been lengthened, he's been able to move them some. They're jumping
Mhm.
more. They are responding more. I think we need to get some specific therapy for that.
Okay.
Now that he's healthy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it actually brought back some.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's interesting. And so yeah, like his balance so real quick, how long ago was the last surgery that he had?
Uh, January.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so his balance is still like he's rebuilding those muscles, and
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
he didn't use some of those muscles
Well, I
much at
mean,
all.
they were cut off. Like
Yeah.
they were cut off of it. They were cut in
Mhm.
half.
Mhm.
So then they had to sew them all back on.
Right.
So then there's a lot that hurts. You don't
Right.
use them, and
Right.
yeah, he wasn't. But he's getting there.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
getting there.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it is like it does affect his balance, and
Hmm.
even on the tennis court, you can see that, and so it's like it's a journey to go on to
It
build up
is.
all those muscles. So
It is.
um, yeah, interesting. Anything else about Levi's life, growing up and stuff like that with spina bifida? There's obviously other topics, but while we're on this topic of surgeries and all that,
Hmm.
I wanted to give you the opportunity to say anything else.
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, just to say about it, I don't know. Just
Okay,
he's. I don't know.
no worries. So one thing that I wanted to ask about is how your kids played a role in Levi's development.
Yeah.
Do you have like maybe a story that illustrates that, or like just different things that your kids did, or anything like that?
Um, well, I can say that they spoiled him royally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's quite spoiled, and
Mhm.
and I try my hardest, but I'm only one person.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
When he was little, Olivia's quite a bit older than him. She was, I think, 15 when he was born,
Okay.
turning 16. And they would, like, even if he could have walked, like, we'll never know because they carried him around everywhere he went. Like, they just carried him.
That's great.
And Kay fed him M&Ms. Like, I think one of his first words was nem nem. And he would hit his big sisters up and say nem nem. And they would say no because they were instructed to say no. You can't have M&Ms all day. But then he would say, I cute. And so they would, of course, say yes and give him anything he wanted. And that's basically their relationship with Levi.
Yeah.
That's the girls.
Yeah,
To this day.
That's awesome.
He can ask for anything and they pretty much make it happen.
Yeah.
He is very close to his oldest. Well, no, not his oldest. Emma. Emma's 25. He and Emma are very close.
Okay.
And she spends a lot of time with him and just adores him. And but he's such a sensitive and loving boy, I think, because he has so many siblings who have just always been so loving and gentle with him. Yeah, he's just a good kid. The boys, they don't treat him the same way.
Yeah.
They're a little harder on him, you know, which is fine. That's what they're supposed to do. Right?
Yeah.
They expect him to toe the line and straighten up and do the things. So that's helpful.
Right.
That's helpful.
Okay. What so it sounds like growing up they carried him a lot, right?
Yeah.
What are some other things that so I guess how did you adapt to a child with a disability?
I don't know. It's just very organic, right? Because you have him as a tiny baby and then they grow and change. And when you're potty training, instead of potty training, you're teaching them to cath. So Levi's been cathing himself since he was 2,
right? Which
I guess is kind of unusual in this world because a lot of kids don't. Some of them still not cathing themselves, and they're his age, and I just don't understand it. But they're not. But it might
independently doing it.
No.
They need help.
Yeah.
Oh no.
A lot of them.
Okay.
A lot of them.
Wow.
But for me, he's 2. He's time to go potty. So this is how you potty.
Yeah.
And so I just did it like that. I don't know. I wasn't a part of a lot of support groups. I guess it was just ignorance. And I'm like, well, this is how it goes. Yeah. So he did. And that's what we did. He sat on a little tiny potty and cathed himself into the potty. No big deal, right? What did you ask me? I'm totally off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just
what it was like raising a kid with Spina Bifida.
Yeah, and like the changes that you made, the changes your kids made, like that's a great example that, like, you know, I'm so big on independence and fostering that independence in kids. And I mean, even adults that have injuries, like, it's so important, no matter what your disability is, to get as independent as possible, if not completely independent.
Right.
And that's so cool that at an early age, you've taught him to do that. I guess my question is, I think one of the struggles that I see with parents is they don't like seeing their kids struggle.
That is hard.
But it's so necessary.
I know. It's so hard, but it's so necessary.
So can you walk me through? Walk me through.
Can I roll you through it?
Yeah. So I'm gonna stick with this. Can you walk me through seeing that and how you? I don't think you enable Levi in most ways. I can't think of any way that you know, that from other parents to you and stuff like that. So, like, can you walk me through how you got through letting him struggle?
Oh, it's hard, man. It's hard, and I bet your mom feels the same way.
Yeah.
I sometimes have to remove myself and not watch. Like, to this day, because he's changed since surgery.
Yeah.
It's not worse, it's different, right? Like, his flexibility is different. So, like, transferring into the shower, for example, or, you know, whatever, I can't watch because I worry and I think I will hold him back. I think I'll jump in and say, let me have that. Or let me help you. And he gets so mad at me for offering to help. So I just say, I know you can do this. And I just leave the room. I stand where I can hear him in case he maybe falls or something. But I have to remove myself because I know I would hinder him.
Yeah, interesting. So one of the things with independence is I always credit my parents. And one of the things that I heard you say is he gets mad at you when you help.
He
And
does.
that was me as a kid as well. Um, so like I'm curious what you think, and it sounds it might be a little bit of both, but where does that drive for independence come from? Do you think that you've raised him right, or do you think that's something internal?
I think it's both,
Yeah.
right? There's like nature, nurture,
Yeah.
the balance there. And I think a lot of Levi's, he's the youngest of 8. He wants to be like everybody else. He
Mm.
wants to do what the big kids are doing. He wants to be, just like them.
Yeah.
So he wants to do what they do and they do it by themselves.
Yeah.
And I do think that coming to sports, seeing, you and Matthias and some of the other guys, drive yourself there.
Mm.
Um, get in, get out, have your own car, have your own house, have a job. It was a really pivotal time for him.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Interesting. Everybody, we're back. Had to take a little bit of a break. But okay, so we were talking about independence, and
Yes.
you mentioned that you wanted to make sure that you brought something up about independence.
Yes. So you asked me if it was nature or nurture or whatever with Levi. Did I just raise him right or whatever? I think a lot of it's a lot of Levi, but also situational.
Mm.
With 8 kids, we don't have an option to not do things.
Yeah.
He's the youngest. We had places to go, right? We had things to do. And so it was always like, okay, so we're doing this.
Yeah.
So how?
Mm-hmm.
How can we do this? How can we make this work? And so that's just our number one question always is how?
Yeah.
We're going on a cruise. How? We're going to the beach.
Mm.
How are we going to do this? There's a lot of options.
Yeah.
But certain things just don't work for a 12-year-old boy or a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
They don't want to be pushed in one of those wheelchair, like beach chairs that are made for elderly folk.
Yeah.
Number one, he doesn't fit in it right.
Right.
And he doesn't have any independence.
Mm-hmm.
He's being pushed.
Yeah.
And that's just embarrassing to him when he's looking at pretty girls and he doesn't want to, you know what I mean? Like he's a dude. And
I've never seen a beach wheelchair that you can use yourself, which is like so like why?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we had to invent something.
Mm.
So Steve found this guy in California who he has these like motorized vehicles basically that pull I guess wave runners or jet skis out to the water.
Okay.
And he had him format it like instead of having it be a stand up ride on, it's a sit down. He put a seat on it.
No way.
Yeah, awesome. So Levi, I have to show you a picture of it. I don't have one.
Yeah.
But, I do have one, but not ready. So Levi has his own little like beach quad runner because
Cool.
we tried a regular quad runner on the beach and those tires just don't work.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Levi has these big inflatable wheels that work on the beach.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We just have to think about how we can make things work.
Great. What other adaptations of like how to make it work have you done? Which, by the way, that needs marketed.
I know. I want to make it and market it. I just, I was like, got so many times. There's so many hours in a day, man. But I do want to do it. And Matthias, I hope you listen to this because I've been asking you about this. He's a welder. He knows how to weld. We can make something happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And if there's anybody that wants to invest in something like this, reach out to me and let's see if we can get this started. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of like public beaches want to buy the best type of wheelchairs for kids to use the beach. I personally, I don't like when it comes to like vacations or whatever, like I don't want to go to the beach.
Right.
I think that's a huge challenge, but like even just getting my wheelchair near sand, around sand, even the sand that's on the sidewalks, it then gets into your bearings and your bearings just get destroyed by the sand.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I just don't want to deal with it. And then like, I get sand all over my wheelchair, and I'm finding it for months after, and it's just like, and then there's like there are little holes in like the hand rims, in a lot of hand rims, and sand can get inside those, and then like I've had wheelchairs that like you just hear like a little ting 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 as you're wheeling around, and so it's just like I just don't want to take my wheelchair, and
I get that.
obviously I'm not going to buy another one because they cost $5,000,
Yeah, they
right?
do.
Like,
Yeah. Which nobody knows. Nobody seems to know
right,
that that's how expensive these things are.
right, yeah, and so yeah, so like I guess like how else, what other ways have you like figured out how to make it work?
Well, like that's one of them. I don't know, dude.
I,
Like
I I've got
tons
one.
of things.
I've got one while you're thinking about
Okay.
an
Yeah.
example. We took probably, I don't know, a decade ago. I took a trip with my parents and my little brother out west, and we went to Yosemite,
Mm.
and my mom is a researcher. I'm not. Like I'm gonna go on a trip and then figure it out along the way. Like that's kind of my thing.
Okay.
Maybe I'll have a few things in mind that I want to actually do, but like my mom researched like all the accessible hikes,
Right.
all the like everything,
Mm-hmm.
and we even took like a car ride through the mountains because that instead of going up through the mountains, like
Right.
that was the thing. And so like there was also like uh a hill that we hiked on that had such a big slope that if I stopped while pushing up it, I would flip over.
Oh
Like
gosh.
it was that big of a slope.
Wow.
And so my little brother and my dad helped push me up it. And
Down though. You have to come
well,
down.
the craziest thing is I thought I would be fine going down, and
Oh.
I because I can do a wheelie, and so a lot of big hills I'll do a wheelie going down, but like it was such a steep hill that I had to grip my hand rims so tight that they started burning.
Right. Yeah.
And so like I it was
Like
great.
actually burning. Like
Yeah,
not just like feels burning. Like no, they're burning. It's burning your skin off, right?
the amount of encouragement that happened from hikers passing us by, like, keep it up, you keep going.
Yeah.
And like, so the way to get me down was somebody was in front of me holding my knees, somebody was behind me holding my shoulders, and they helped get me down the hill
Wow.
by doing that. And
Wow.
it was my family has been great with helping me make sure that I can get to places that
Yeah.
I couldn't otherwise get,
Absolutely.
and other things. So yeah, I'm thankful for the family that I have, and
Yeah.
it's great that Levi's in such a close knit family himself,
Yeah.
and all that. So anyway, did you think of any examples? If not, we can move
Oh,
on.
I mean, that's like an everyday event, right? That whole thing. Like
Yeah,
anywhere we've got to go, we all just like all hands on deck. Let's figure it out,
yeah,
whatever it might be. Carrying him, whatever,
yeah.
he's Steve can still throw him on his back.
Can you tilt that microphone down a little bit
Yep.
more? Yeah, that's
Better?
perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Sorry.
No. We adjusted, and I just noticed. So
Okay. Just all of that. Yeah.
yeah.
What else? What else? Well, we've done a lot of different things, but
Mm.
like we've gone on many hikes with just everyone taking turns putting Levi on our backs.
Mm.
Um, and that's fun. We want him to go, right?
So did you ever have? So I love the concept of like how that you brought up. And as I've coached not wheelchair but adaptive tennis, I've I've learned not to assume.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that is like I see somebody and I'm like, oh, I need to adapt it to their level,
Mm,
right?
mm.
And that's so true. You need to adapt things to different levels, but you also need to push people a little bit past the level that they can so that they fail and get better,
Right.
right? And so one of the things from assuming is when my parents heard about me playing this wheelchair tennis camp when I first started,
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "How the heck are you going to play tennis? How do you hold the racket and wheel? Like, there's just so many questions. And I was like, I don't know,
Yeah.
but I want to go and I want to figure it out.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, like, we're definitely for that, but we're very curious. Like, we didn't, like, it's almost like they didn't even think tennis was even in the things of like, oh, let's get Zach active, let's try tennis. Like, that's just not one of those things that's like a go-to. Like, let's have a guy in a wheelchair try wheelchair tennis.
Yeah.
I think more and more it's like people are aware of like the wheelchair sports with the Paralympics being on what was it, Peacock, yeah.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So there's a lot more awareness than when I was growing up, right?
Right.
But like, were there, I'm sure it's just natural to make assumptions of like, oh, he might not be able to do that, and you come to find out that he can, or maybe you just shy away from it.
Yeah. I think I might err on the wrong side of that
Okay.
and think he can do anything, and then
Love that.
and then we're stuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh no, we can't do it. And so then we're forced to be like, how?
Yeah.
You know?
You've pushed him up a hill that you didn't realize that he would struggle getting down.
Right.
Right.
That's why I
Like,
said that. Like, everybody's got to come down. I know.
right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're on the other side of that.
That's awesome. Yeah. And it's interesting. I've said this in prior podcasts, but my mom had a quote. Maybe I've told you this, maybe I haven't, but my mom had a quote: if you break a bone, it'll heal.
Oh.
If you break their spirit, it'll paralyze them for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And I just, that's such a, and it sounds like you live by that as well. Like, let's get them to go.
Right. And you know what? I think there was a friend at the pool who I'd known for quite some time. His daughter and my daughter Emma were friends, and so I think she's 26, 27 now. She's a little older than Ella. I mean,
Yeah.
Emma. Sorry, too many kids. We were at the pool, and I was very worried about Levi swimming. He was probably 2 or 3. I mean, in my defense, he was a
Sure.
baby, but I hovered a lot apparently. And this dad, who I'd known for so long, said to me, and he had every right to say it because his daughter also has disabilities, okay? And he looked at me when I was at the pool with Levi, and I had like arm floats on him and a puddle jumper and a float around him, like probably excessive, right? And then everything he did, I was like hopping to and keeping him, and I was just like a mother hen.
Right.
And he said, "Are you raising a man or are you raising a cripple?"
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, "What?" Justin? I was so mad, and then I've never forgotten it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to ask myself that to this day.
Yeah.
And I look back and think of how far his daughter has come and how great she's doing, and I think, okay, he's so right. He's so right.
Oh my gosh.
And that stung quite a bit as a mom who was worrying, but he was absolutely right. So I ask myself a lot of times, you raising a man or you raising a cripple? Someday
Wow.
this man's going to be someone's husband,
Yeah.
maybe someone's father, and he's going to have to be able to do it.
Mhm.
Get out of the way, Mom.
Wow. That's powerful. That's like a bonk on your head. Like,
Yeah.
that's like, what the heck? I've never had somebody tell me that. Like, how dare you?
And if it was from anyone else, I would have been offended. But
yeah.
he knew me. I knew,
Yeah.
and he also had a child with a disability, so
Yeah.
it really felt like I got hit in the head really by a 2x4, and it was a wake up.
Yeah. So what would you do as a result of that?
I let him go a little bit. I
Yeah.
stayed, close, but I did let him have a little bit more freedom. I let him not drown, but
That's good.
when the kid, okay, like
Good
I had
parenting.
wait,
Don't let your kids
don't let him
drown.
drown. But like I figured it out, right? It made me think about it. Like, okay, how can he do this without me? So we bought like
Yes.
half-pound weights and like the Velcro ones and put them on his feet,
Mm.
which was scary in the pool because it's a pool,
Yeah.
but I had to get the right level of buoyancy for him because his feet floated up and he tipped forward and
Yeah.
he, but then he was able to be independent in the pool. So
That's a great idea. Like my feet floated up as well.
Yeah.
And I actually grew up with a pool in my backyard. And
Oh.
we've never considered that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Light ones. Don't get heavy ones. You'll be sinking.
No 50-pound weights on your feet. Okay. Noted. You hear that, guys? No 50-pound weights on your feet.
Yeah, don't say I told you to either.
Yeah. That's interesting. Um, what advice would you give parents raising a child with a disability?
Let them try.
Mm,
Just let them.
mm,
Whatever they want to do, let them.
yeah,
Let them try.
yeah.
And just get out of the way because they can do a lot more than we think they can.
Get out of the way.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I have to get out of the way
right.
all of the time. Sometimes just physically
Mm-hmm.
leave because, they can do a lot.
Yeah. How has Steve so in my family, and you can tell me if it's different for yours. My dad was the one that was mm, like my mom would come in and be like, "What are you doing with Zach?" and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
is there any? What's the difference in dynamic with you versus Steve and all that with Levi?
I mean, I think Steve's raising a man, right? And
Yeah.
he needs me to get out of the way
Yeah.
a lot of times because moms, we protect more
Sure.
and I worry more, but Steve doesn't. He's fine. He's like, Levi, go upstairs and get a shower.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stand outside to make sure he's okay. And he doesn't
Mm,
even think about it.
mm,
He could go down to the basement and work out
yeah.
and not worry about it.
Yeah.
I stand right outside and listen,
Yeah.
he's fine. He's
Yeah.
always fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steve is very much more into Levi doing it himself and being independent. And
Yeah.
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 And I mean, not that I'm not.
Right.
I just hesitate more. I
Sure.
worry more.
Sure.
I don't think Steve worries about anything about it. I think he knows he can do it. And
Yeah.
I think that transfers to Levi. And
Yeah.
so Levi believes he can too.
Yeah. I think that dynamic is important though.
It is.
It's just, it's the yin and yang, if you will,
Yeah.
know, and it's a good it's how you get balance.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
So
So
someone has to be watching out for the possible pitfalls.
yeah, exactly.
Or else what? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned, I think it was Ella that's into crime
Crime scene science.
scene science.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it seems like women are more into that than men.
Oh, yeah.
Have you observed that, or would you agree?
I don't know. I do love a good crime movie.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I'll get into it, but I think that it's that same. It's a similar instinct that we were just talking about, right?
Mm.
Like you kind of want to know where things could go wrong, and like I don't know
How to
the
prevent it.
the cautious tales and all that. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like there's a correlation there.
Yeah, there may be. That's true. I never thought about that, but that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about Levi and sports.
Yeah. Okay.
So Levi, when did he start playing sports? How did he get involved? All that.
Okay. So I think Levi began playing hockey when he was 5.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know how. I don't know how we got involved. I think Beth Yantak, do you know her?
Mm-hmm.
She probably sent us email after email for a long time. But I'm like, he's a baby. He's like 3 years old. He's not playing hockey.
I don't think I know who that is.
Okay. Well, her son also has spina bifida.
Okay.
Jonathan is his name. Anyway, she recruited Levi to play hockey.
Oh.
So I finally let him play when he was 5. I was
Wow.
like, listen, he's a baby. I'm not really feeling this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he cried for the first 2
Oh.
practices, I guess,
Okay.
because it was loud and cold and scary, and kids were zooming, and everyone's on the ice at the same time.
Yeah.
And someone rolled up or skated up and said, Levi, there's no crying in hockey. He's 5, and I thought, oh gosh. But it was great because he said, there's not. And they said no. And he said, okay. He quit crying.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but kids are so malleable in that. Have you seen like there's like shorts that of like a dad or a mom carrying their baby, and they just knock on the wall and they go, "Oh no, are you okay?" And the baby instantly starts crying.
Yeah.
It's like nothing happened to the baby, but
Right.
like they're responding to those external things, and wow, that's awesome. And that's so important for him to get that exposure early on, especially this is one of the things that I love about the disabled sports community in particular is like that was not related to his disability,
Right.
but there are things that are related to your disability, the disability that the other disabled people will call out. Like,
Right.
hey, you're being lazy. You're not unable to do this or something like that. Right.
Right. Right. Like, yeah, they say it differently, but
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
but
They'll say it more harshly. It sounds
yes.
like you have an example.
Oh yeah. I mean, I
Uh,
remember my first time coming to tennis practice. It was am I allowed to use people's names on here?
I try to shy away from kids'
Okay.
names, but
Okay, so like two of the kids were competing,
mhm,
and
mhm.
one of them said to the other, "What's the matter with you? You two disabled or what?"
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a different culture."
Yeah.
And so I just taking it in, but
Yeah.
it was great. And Levi looks at me like, "What? What's happening?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it was
That's
good.
awesome. So this last practice that Levi was at, we did a drill where Levi was where Levi and a few other people were up at the net, and I hit a lob over one of the kids. I almost said his name, but he's actually going to come on the podcast. So
Fun.
his parents are good with it and all that. But anyway, I hit a lob over his head, and I was like, "Jump!" And yeah, so we do we make all sorts of disability jokes, and he told he's a single amputee, and he has a shirt that says, "Leg story $5" or something along those
Yeah.
lines, and
Yeah.
he says he's actually had people come up and give him money. Right, it's like it's great, and that's my inspiration for all the different funny T-shirts and stuff like that. So, um,
Yeah, Levi has a shirt like that. I think it says legs for sale, gently used or something like that.
gently used. That's great. Yeah. So, w- I I'm so passionate about the disabled sports community because I think it's one of the most critical things that you could have a child or a newly disabled person or anybody to be a part of so that they can learn those lessons,
Mhm.
those adaptabilities, everything. So I actually got started in wheelchair sports at 10.
Okay.
I was active, but not into any wheelchair sports or anything like that. So, talk to me about like how important you think wheelchair sports are for Levi.
Huge.
Yeah.
I think it's like a lifeline for Levi.
Mm,
If you're in the world with typical able-bodied people all the time,
mhm.
you are not always treated like a peer.
No.
You're always like treated differently. And no one's going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
No one will tease you unless they're just cruel people, but like no one will jokingly tease you
Right.
like you would a peer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um but it's a different type of camaraderie.
Mhm.
And I think it's like there's a probably, and I can't speak from experience, but I can speak from watching Levi. I think there's like a loneliness just from being different all the time.
Yeah.
So when you are together with a group of other people who have maybe not the same disability as you, but
Mhm.
they are just different than the typical
Yeah.
person, you feel not lonely.
Yeah.
You feel understood. You feel seen.
Mhm.
In a different way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Even that I can't do for him,
Right. Right.
right? Because I can get up and
Mm.
just walk away, and so it's really important for him.
Yeah, yeah. I totally agree. And it's awesome that you got him into it at 5. Like,
It was peer pressure, man. I didn't
yeah,
know to, but
yeah, right. Jake and Mozzie both were injured fairly young,
mm,
and they were on the podcast, and they both shared that they didn't find adaptive sports for years
mm,
later.
mm,
And it's like, man, like how do we spread that awareness to everybody? And that's one of the reasons why I have the podcast is to spread that awareness to crush stigmas
yeah,
and stuff like that.
cool.
So, um, do you have any thoughts like that of like how do we reach out to to more people? How do we get people involved? And
I don't know. I try to post everything on my social media.
yeah,
I really want Levi, and he wants to also start his own like TikTok kind of thing. Just he wants to review different places for
yeah.
their accessibility.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because let's say like, oh, speaking of hiking, there's a handicap accessible trail it's made of crushed gravel.
Yeah,
That's not handicap accessible.
that's not at all.
Not even remotely in anyone's imagination. How can you possibly? That's a fabrication.
But Jen, there's no steps, so it's fine.
So go ahead.
Yeah.
So go ahead, get your casters in and flip forward. It's great.
Right.
You'll have so much fun.
Right. Gravel, for anybody that doesn't know, is almost worse than grass, if not worse than grass.
It's worse than grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends on how soft the grass is and maybe the mud, but
Right.
yeah.
I'd rather try to get him over sand.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put him back on his wheels, just pull him.
That's
Gravel,
fair.
you're like,
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair.
Horrible.
Interesting. I don't prefer sand, just pushing in sand over gravel.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, you can get through sand by just picking them up on their back wheels, and
where gravel, it's just a little different, because then if you've got anti-tippers, then your anti-tippers are stuck into the gravel. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm just gonna start holding this like right here. I'm just not gonna let go.
Yeah. Right. No, you're good. Okay, so hockey at 5.
Yeah.
It's been an impactful thing for Levi.
Yeah.
What was next? What was the next sport?
Well, during COVID, I think we didn't practice a bit, and then the coach that we had for his team graduated with his daughter, who graduated, and we didn't have a coach for Levi's group at that time.
Oh.
So we decided to try basketball.
Yeah.
Which I love. I love wheelchair basketball.
Me too.
It translates so nicely into just functional use of your wheelchair. And it's an easy, fun thing you can play with anybody. You can be on the playground and play basketball with able-bodied people. It's a great sport. Levi doesn't love the competitive style of basketball.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the crashing and the and all of that. And he just doesn't want to ever steal a ball from someone. He just goes against his nature.
Plus
it's co-ed.
Yeah.
And he does not like that. He does not like being aggressive with girls.
Oh, interesting.
Didn't like that.
Okay.
So he's like, I'm not slamming into a girl. Hockey is also co-ed, but he says I feel better because I can't see that they're girls with all the gear on.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's accidentally hurt a girl, like T-boned her, and she cried. It was really hard for him to get over for a long time, because he's like, hockey shouldn't be co-ed. I can't do this. I can't hurt a girl.
Yeah.
So he's gotten over it a little bit. But
in what age did he get involved with basketball?
Probably the same time he got involved with tennis. So just before, maybe 3 years. 3 years. Yeah, 3. So what was he? He's 14, so 11.
Yeah.
11.
Okay. And then the next sport was tennis.
And then it was tennis. Yep.
Talk to me about that a little bit.
Tennis is much more up his alley. It's a quiet sport. There's no screaming. There's no buzzers. There's no fighting. There's no banging. So he really likes it. It's a peaceful sport, but it's also fun and challenging. And he likes the culture a lot of tennis.
Yeah.
It's been really good for him.
Yeah. And one of the things I'll say that I appreciate about you is we've had a lot of open dialogue of like when Levi's getting bored and like challenging him on different things. And one of the things that we're trying to solve for now is the tennis group is a lot smaller, and there's not necessarily kids his age and stuff like that. So there's just different dynamics with different sports and all that. So can you point that down a little bit more? Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm never going to get this micro thing right. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all right. Okay. So what do you think has been, do you have any stories from any of the sports that he's played that sticks out? Like, any competitions or, him falling out of his chair, or I don't know, anything like that?
No, he does not want to fall out of his chair. That upsets him to think about.
Yeah.
I just think, for him, the stories I have are we went to the basketball nationals. His team made it to nationals.
Mm-hmm.
He really still didn't enjoy playing basketball,
Mm.
and that at that level, he loves playing basketball. He
Yeah.
doesn't love competing. If that
Mm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But I lost him. I couldn't find him anywhere.
Mm.
He was just out. He was just making friends.
Yeah.
Because for him, the most important part about any of these sports is the people.
Yeah.
And making friends and meeting folks. And
Yeah.
I couldn't find him. And lo and behold, he's hanging out with Paul Schulte,
Oh.
who I don't know. I mean, you might not, no one on the podcast might know, but Paul Schulte is basically like the Michael Jordan of wheelchair basketball, in my opinion. He's an awesome dude too. Such a nice guy.
Yeah.
But Levi's getting his digits, hanging out with him, arranging private lessons with Paul Schulte.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice.
And Paul's giving it to him. He's like, that's fine. And I mean, I just love the community.
Yeah.
That's really my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that connection that Levi made with Paul ultimately turned out to be such a blessing because we were in a car accident on our way from a basketball tournament to Florida, where he lives. And because I had his phone number, because Levi had, met him and whatever, Levi's wheelchair was crushed in this car accident.
Yeah.
And he had no way to get around. Is it okay that I segue like this, Zach?
Yeah. Of course. Segue
away. Okay. And I was having to push Levi around in a office chair because we were in Florida and like I didn't know anyone down there. And I could get him just a transport chair to rent or whatever, but that's not what we were looking for.
Yeah.
He was looking for a chair. So because I had Paul's number, I was able to text him and ask him, "Hey man, do you happen to know anybody that has a chair that we could borrow?" And he did.
Yeah.
And so worked out. It's just a good networking. It's a good community. That's my point. Like no matter what, you get into these sports, you hang out with, you meet people. It's just a great community.
Yeah. It really is. And I've had people text me as far as like needing a chair as well. And we have old chairs, so like we grow out of them, and we recycle them back into the community where we can. So. That's awesome. And Paul Schulte, I've met him and interacted with him, and yes, he is a legend in the wheelchair basketball community.
Yeah.
So he's a good dude. I grew up with are you familiar with who Steve Welsh is?
Yep, met him.
Yeah,
I think maybe I haven't met him. Maybe I just know him. Him.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing these days, but Steve Welsh was an adult when I was like playing tennis and basketball growing up and all that. So he went to the Paralympics in both tennis and basketball, and that was my inspiration growing up. That's who I had my sights on, and I was even like, I want to do Paralympics in basketball, tennis, and downhill skiing. I was like, I wanted to one up Steve Welsh. So,
oh golly.
Yeah. It's awesome. So as far as going back to wheelchair sports, I think I've covered everything that I've wanted to cover. Is there anything else that you wanted to add about wheelchair sports?
Not really.
Okay.
No, I think it's good.
Okay, so let's the next topic was the car accident.
Okay.
And so I do want to dive into that a little bit more. So like what was we heard that his wheelchair got destroyed and all that, and you were in Florida. It was on a vacation, I assume, or?
Yeah, so we have a house in Florida, and Levi was at a basketball tournament in Atlanta. So we all drove down together, my husband and I, and Ella and Levi and the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve flew home to finish up some work, and we continued on to our house. And we were planning on staying there for the month of February. Everything's going great. We're driving along, come around a bend. It's dead stop traffic. I was able to stop, but there was a semi behind me that was not able to stop. And he thankfully shot off to the right and got onto the shoulder.
Okay.
And eventually he was in the grass, and I don't know what happened because he was far ahead, and I have a feeling he had some sort of accident of his own. But he didn't hurt anyone.
Okay.
But there was another man driving behind him.
Oh.
Who, of course, wasn't able to see around the semi. and he was driving a big, like a F550 Super Duty with a push bar
Whoa.
and a massive trailer
Yeah.
on the back, and he couldn't stop
Right.
either, and he slammed into the back of
Mm.
us. And Levi's, to his sport chair and his day chair, were on the back of the
My
minivan, like on one of those like transport sort of things.
Yeah.
And thank God, because I think they saved Ella, because Ella was in the very back, and that really protected Ella.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously those chairs got squashed.
Oh yeah, they were like rubble.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was carbon fiber. Carbon fiber does not hold up to
No.
to impact. But yeah, Levi and Ella both had some neck and back injuries. I had a TBI, which is a traumatic brain injury. It's a concussion that shows on MRI.
Yeah.
But it really did impact me, and it
Yeah.
impacted us for a long time, all of
Right.
us. It was a rough patch.
Right. Wow. And was I know Levi was going through he was going through some pain for a while, right?
Yeah, he was in a lot of pain. I mean, yeah, he has. I think it gave him 2 herniated discs in his neck.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I had 5 herniated discs in my neck.
You guys got hit hard.
We did. Yeah.
Wow. And what is it? What kind of injuries did Ella sustain?
Ella had pretty bad whiplash, and she was very relaxed and didn't know what was happening.
Oh.
So she really, for whatever reason, didn't get really hurt.
Yeah.
Where Levi and I were both more aware and sort of braced ourselves, and that's when you get more injured.
I've heard stories of like, of course I'm involved with the disabled community, but I've heard people get injured while they were drinking. And there's a guy that I don't even remember who this guy is, but this guy was drinking and fell out of a window of a 4-story building, and he became a quadriplegic. But the reason he didn't die was because he was so relaxed from the drinking. I'm sure the drinking caused the falling out of the window, but but
it prevented his death.
yeah. So that's interesting. Your muscles almost like the tense muscles like break your bones.
Yeah, you hold yourself still, and it like and then the impact it jars you more.
Yeah. So can you talk to us about the TBI, the traumatic brain injury that you've sustained?
Yeah, it was rough. I basically, my memory was gone. I literally had terrible memory. I couldn't remember what I ate for breakfast. I couldn't remember anything. But also just cognitive function, just slow processing, constant pain, constant headache, dizziness. And it's been a year and a half, more than a year and a half now. And I'm still dealing with some short-term memory issues and just like finding words. I wouldn't call it brain fog, but more like just can't recall things. Thankfully, I tried a lot of different therapies. Nothing really worked. Just sleep, cold, putting a lot of ice on my head helped.
Oh.
But I had like chronic headaches for a year probably. It was really not fun.
Wow.
I didn't work for a year because I didn't trust myself to handle people's transactions, their home sales. I just wasn't really with it. But accidentally discovered that Adderall helped a lot.
Interesting.
Because the doctor prescribed it for Levi.
Okay.
A very low dose. And he said, I don't want to take it. I'm afraid it's going to make me feel bad. And I said, listen, let's take it. I'll take one too. And I'll see how it feels so we can both like see what you're feeling.
Yeah.
And he hated it. And ultimately I felt better than I had felt in a very long time.
Great. Wow.
So I started researching, and apparently it's a common thing that doctors prescribe.
Yeah. Interesting.
For TBI to help with all cognition, specifically like attention, memory. It really helps.
Wow. I never knew that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And so how's the TBI now?
Much better.
Okay.
I mean, I can see difference, improving. I can tell you, I can see a marked difference if I don't get enough sleep, If I like have one too many glasses of wine, I
Oh,
can have days of not feeling well.
oh,
So I have to be
interesting.
really careful with my sleep, with my drinking, like, going out with friends. I just have to limit myself
Oh,
a lot, which is fine. I think it's a healthier choice anyway.
sure. Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's improving. I'm doing better all the time.
Have you tried anything diet or supplemental wise that you've found helped?
CBD helped a lot,
Okay.
especially early on. I would take these CBD gummies
Mm,
that really helped me sleep and help my pain in my head.
okay.
I think that helps with brain inflammation.
Yeah.
Um, Supplements, I've tried a bunch of them. I haven't really seen a tremendous improvement from any of them. I take like a Cognimag, which is like magnesium specifically for cognition.
Mm,
Um, it helps me relax. I don't know. I haven't really seen as much of a marked improvement as I have with just taking the CBD and
okay.
the Adderall,
Yeah.
which I'm such a granola person. It's appalling for me to even hear myself say it.
That's awesome.
True. It's so true. Like
Yeah.
we drink raw milk, people, and I'm taking Adderall. Like I don't know.
You drink raw milk?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have my whole life. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you get raw milk from?
We own a herd share program. There's a
Okay.
herd share, and I get it from a farmer who I buy a share in their herd, and so therefore it's my milk, so therefore I can drink it.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
you can bring, but they can't sell you it if
No,
you're not.
no, you have to own the cow, and you can drink your own cow's milk. Then
Okay.
I own a part of a cow. I own a lot of parts of a cow. Actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go down a rabbit hole for a second because I'm very curious about this. I didn't know this. I knew you were more granola as you say it,
Yeah.
than the average person, but I didn't know about like about raw
You
milk
didn't know I
and
was
stuff like
so
that.
crazy.
Well, no, I actually I think that's cool. So let me ask you this, and if this isn't a topic that interests you, let me know, or you don't want to talk about it. Why why do they sell only filtered milk?
Good question. Good question. It's pasteurized milk is what they sell.
Yeah,
My milk is filtered. Raw milk is still filtered.
sure,
So
sure.
it's clean,
Pasteurized. Thank
but
you.
pasteurized is actually cooked, okay?
Uh-huh.
So what maybe most people don't know is if you feed a baby cow pasteurized milk, it will die
Mm,
because all of the enzymes, the digestive enzymes are in the raw milk. They're cooked out
yeah.
when you pasteurize it. That's why so many people can't tolerate milk.
Uh,
That's why so many people are lactose intolerant or whatever. They're just pasteurized milk intolerant.
Interesting.
And actually, you could live on raw milk
Yeah.
and not eat anything else, and you will be so healthy.
Wow. Okay.
But I don't know why they don't sell it, man. I think
Okay.
that's because the government's controlling it for their reasons that I don't understand. But
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the little research that I've seen on this is I think initially there were diseases and stuff like that was passed down, or like just general bacteria that's bad for you,
well,
and
and it's possible,
yeah.
right? It's possible that there's
Mhm.
that if your cows aren't healthy or if you're not careful, sure, But like, think about how many people have died of salmonella or E. coli
Sure.
from like spinach,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
It can be in anything if
Right.
it's not cleaned properly and it's not cared for properly.
Yeah.
So
And for some reason this industry was targeted as far as like
yeah,
you need to clean that up or something like that.
right. But
So,
like they sell raw eggs and they sell raw meat, and
yeah.
it just seems kind of silly. But
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we can't tolerate in our home processed dairy.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Have this is kind of another side note, but have you seen those Instagram accounts of people just eating like raw beef?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I mean, I find that to be
how
gross,
far
but
you go with that.
no, I don't eat raw animals.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't. I mean, I will eat like raw fish, I guess. Like
Yeah.
I would eat
Okay.
sushi,
Yeah.
but
Right,
yeah,
right.
but no cow.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
would not want to eat
Yeah.
that.
It looks gross.
Yeah, like the Liver King when he's eating raw liver.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean,
Right.
I'm sure maybe it has health benefits. I don't know. Like
Right.
I don't want to do it.
Right. What are the health benefits of raw milk?
Oh my gosh, everything. They are.
Okay.
It is like the number one source of glutathione that you can get naturally.
Oh,
So, like, do you know what glutathione is?
I've heard of it,
It's
but
like
refresh my
it's a
memory.
master antioxidant. It's like the number one, like, you can like rebuild your entire organs and system if you just drink raw milk.
Okay.
So let me just back it up a little bit. Steve, my husband Steve, for years suffered with chronic Crohn's disease.
Oh,
And like he was sick, very
okay.
sick. Won't go into all the gory details, but he was very unwell. They
Okay.
wanted him on all these very dangerous biologics, and we tried everything. We cut out gluten. He went on like a raw diet. He did all smoothies. We did everything you could think of until we found this guy who wrote a book called what's it called? The Raw Milk Cure,
Okay.
and it was from the 1800s.
Okay.
Okay, so this doctor, he was with Johns Hopkins University.
Uh-huh.
He was treating people with just feeding them raw milk
Okay.
and giving them like baths, and all they were living on was like raw milk, maybe a little piece of bread, but drinking like a gallon of raw milk a day
Yeah.
and healing themselves, like fully healed.
Wow.
So we thought, well, we don't have anything to lose. Steve
Mhm.
was so sick. So he tried it, and he lived on nothing but raw milk for 5 weeks, and his Crohn's is completely gone.
No way.
Yes way. It's gone.
Wow.
Yeah, you should have him on here just to talk about that.
I'd love that.
Because
Yeah.
he knows a lot of, I mean, he experienced it. I know a
Yeah.
lot about it, but he lived it.
Yeah. So, Crohn's disease, I don't know a lot about it, but is there a quote unquote cure
No.
that's in the mainstream?
No, you cannot be cured of Crohn's.
But he
But
did.
he did. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. That seems like something that's like, if you have a disease and something's not going to hurt you, then
Give it a
why
go.
not try it?
Right. Right.
That's crazy that's not in the medical literature field at all.
Yeah, I'll give you this book if you want it. You can look at it. It basically, people were ridiculing this doctor,
Uh-huh.
saying there's no way for you to make money at this.
Mm.
You need to make it more confusing or
Mm.
more challenging or something to make money. And he said, well, I'm in the business of healing people.
Yeah.
And so that's, I mean, you can't really, you?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could make a raw milk clinic and
Yeah.
provide milk, but
Right.
you can do it at home.
Right.
You don't need to.
My dad and I think I am, but maybe not as much. I'm really into like natural health or functional medicine is what they call it, right?
Right.
Like, and my dad is super into that. He's read so many books about like vitamin C and
Yeah.
his another big one is niacin, which is vitamin B6, B9, B6. No, I don't know. It's a B vitamin. I don't know why I'm blanking on that right now. I've got it pretty well, but like he's read a lot about like how taking more than what they recommend
Yeah.
will help with various things and stuff like that. So niacin is not something to necessarily mess around with
Hmm.
because if there's a niacin flush. My dad says it's the only vitamin that is absolutely working in your body.
Okay.
And what happens when you take like let's say 500 or 1,000 milligrams of niacin is your body goes through this niacin flush. And this is just for everybody listening. This is in pre-workout, and a lot of people get this effect in pre-workout, just not as strong. But the way I explain it, and my dad and I are the only two people that I've ever met that actually like this feeling. But
Okay.
yeah, it's so the way I explain it is you know how like when your hand falls asleep
Yes.
and then as it's waking up it gets that tingly feeling.
Yes, I hate that feeling.
That tingly feeling starts at your forehead.
Oh, weird.
And then it starts its way down in like and then it like basically stops, and then that range will just move. It'll just move down your body,
Okay.
just slowly but surely. But it always starts at your head.
Wild.
And
I think if that
it's-
happened and I didn't know it, I would be so scared.
right.
Like, what's wrong with me?
So my dad gave me niacin for the first time.
Okay.
And I've my whole family's like loves pranks and jokes and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so
Dad to you.
my dad gave me niacin, and for some reason I didn't want to take it in that moment, and so I put it in my shirt pocket or something like that. And my parents they live in Columbus, and I'm in Cincinnati, you know. So I drove down to Cincinnati, and I had housemates at the time, and we we got some beers out, and I took the niacin and I started drinking a beer.
Mm.
And I got about halfway through the beer and I started to feel that feeling.
Oh my gosh, that would be so scary.
And I told them, I was like, guys, I don't know what's happening right now. And they're like, they look over, and another effect of niacin is you get these red blotches all over your body. As those niacin effects happen, like it's not just like your whole face turns red. It's like your cheek for some reason turns red.
Oh, wow.
Or like you just get these like once it hits your arms, it's just like these patches of red spots on your arm.
Okay.
And so like as I'm going through this, I'm explaining the what I'm experiencing to them, and they look over and they're like, Zach, your face is super red right now. And,
Oh, weird.
and like as it goes down my body, I'm like, I've got red splotches on my arms, and I'm freaking out. And I'm freaking out to the point where like I stopped drinking, and my dad hasn't drank for like 30 years or something like that.
Yeah.
He goes, good, I made you stop drinking for a little bit.
That's funny.
And like I got to the point where I gave them my phone, my friends, my parents' phone number. I was like, if I pass out or something happens to me,
Yeah.
call my parents. And,
Yeah.
so anyway, it's an experience.
Now you make me want to go try it.
I know, right?
I need the recipe. Like how many?
Yeah.
How many
It's just
milligrams?
To get the feeling, you need 500 milligrams of niacin.
Okay.
My dad sometimes takes 1,000 milligrams of niacin,
Okay.
and it doesn't. Like whether you take 500 or 1,000. By the way, none of this is medical advice. None of us are medical doctors. I think that's the YouTube thing that I have to say.
Information only, man.
Yeah, to not get my podcast taken down or whatever. But yeah, so he so it's 500 milligrams to 1,000. He takes 1,000. He was taking it like quite frequently, but he went to the doctor, and the doctor said his liver enzymes are going crazy.
Oh.
And so he's like, I should dial this back a little bit. And
so why does he take so much? What's it for? Like, what's the benefit?
So
The so-called benefit, right?
Nobody knows why the niacin flush, quote unquote, happens, but there's a lot of theory about how it like exfoliates the bad things in your body. I don't even think my dad would tell you that that's really what happens, but and you know it's a B vitamin, so like it helps with energy and other things that just B vitamins in general will help with. I haven't researched it, and I don't know all the facts as well, but
got it.
Definitely do research before you do anything like this. But the flush lasts for like 30 minutes.
Okay.
And again, it goes down your whole body as you do it. And I gave niacin to my housemate, and he's an introvert, and the entire time that the niacin flush happened, he was just under a blanket.
Oh.
So again, myself and my dad are the only two people that actually like it. It's a weird feeling. The other couple side effects is sometimes you get itchy, like when it hits your ears, you just want to like itch your ears inside and stuff like that. And then once the tingly feelings starts to wear off, it like messes with your body temperature for some reason, and so like oftentimes you'll get cold, and it does feel like when the tingly feeling happens, you kind of get warm and hot. And so I don't know. Do it at your own risk.
Okay, I'm gonna research this.
Yeah, exactly. But Yeah, well, we went on we went on a tangent. I love talking about like natural medicine
I do too.
and stuff like that. So, um,
Yeah, that's been a hard thing for me is being as granola as I am, having Levi, who
yeah.
I 100% have absolutely no options
Mm,
sometimes but to take the medical route.
yeah.
So hard for me. It's hard. It's not. It's less hard today
Yeah.
than it was, 15 years ago
Right.
when he was a baby and I was a fully granola,
Right.
grinding my own wheat kind of mom,
Right. Right.
and then now,
You said a while back that you make your own bread. Is it sourdough bread?
yes,
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard a lot of good things about sourdough bread, like with the enzymes and stuff like that being really good for your gut. And
same as raw milk, man. It's the
yeah.
same. Like I can't digest regular bread, but I can do sourdough just fine.
Interesting.
Same kind of thing.
Uh, is it possible to buy sourdough bread in the store and get the
Yeah,
same kind of thing?
I think so.
You
Yeah,
think so?
I
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
It was COVID, and
Yeah.
I was bored, and I had nothing to do.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, organic bread went up to like like $8 a pack, and
Yeah.
I'm like 8 kids.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
paying this much. Everybody's gonna eat rice. We're not having bread anymore.
Right.
So I just started making my own bread,
Right.
and I like it. So,
Right.
but I'm sure you can find it.
Okay, so this might be a little bit controversial
Okay.
for guests, but I asked you before the podcast if we could talk about this, but you mentioned CBD
Mm,
and Levi.
yeah.
Can you talk about that a little?
Yes. The whole thing.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
go.
Um. So Levi has anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, the doctors continue to try to diagnose him with ADHD. And really, it's anxiety because you give him ADHD meds and he's like 10,000 times worse, not better. So anyway, we looked into some alternatives, to anxiety meds because they're not really the best for kids. They're not healthy. Again, we're kind of granola.
Mm-hmm.
So we started giving him some CBD oil before it was like commonplace. This was like 10 years ago, I'd say.
Okay.
We ordered it from someone in Colorado who made this specific strain called Charlotte's Web, and it was a great strain. It was very helpful for calming brains down, and specifically seizure disorders and things like that. So Levi had a couple of seizures, and we figured why not just use that strain because we know it's safe, we know it's effective, and we know it's made well,
Yeah.
and we know that it could prevent seizures if he ever developed one, right?
Yeah.
And it also helped with his anxiety. So we used it, and it really did work.
Mm,
And we stopped for a while because
okay.
we realized that it did still contain trace amounts of THC,
Oh
and
no.
we didn't realize we were giving him the munchies and sending
Yeah.
him to school. So that was bad. So we stopped that immediately once we learned that. But
Yeah.
now there are other options, and we just need to get him on some again because
Mm.
since his anxiety was totally controlled, so he didn't really need it anyway. But since this last surgery, I think it's a lot on your nerves,
Yeah.
and it causes just some systemic anxiety, things you can't really control.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to get back to it, find a different strain.
So one thing that I would highly recommend is I have ChatGPT
Yeah.
and I have plugged my health experts, the people that I trust on that are public figures like Mark Hyman. He's a big functional medicine guy.
Okay.
And so like he's one of those guys that I've plugged in, and I said, hey, I want you to learn everything about this person as far as like what they do, what they've shared medically, and I want you to talk to me like you're this person.
Oh, that's cool. I don't
And
use ChatGPT. I should do that.
yeah.
Cool.
Oh, it's so awesome. So like you can plug in all these like, and you might even be able to just say, hey, functional medicine wise,
Hmm.
what is the best thing for that? So, and I can show you after the
Yeah.
podcast if you want, but
Yeah.
I've done research on like anxiety and depression and stuff like that, and like one of the big things that they talk about is magnesium, and magnesium is a huge thing that's missing from most of the American diet people,
Mm.
and it helps out with so many different things. So,
Mm.
but I can show you, like, just plug it in based on my health experts and show you like what kind of supplements would be good for
Nice.
anxiety and depression and
Cool.
stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but it's been awesome because so I'm allergic to latex.
Okay.
Is Levi?
He's not.
Oh
No,
wow.
but I know they warned us about it for a long
Mhm,
time, but
mhm.
so far he's not.
Yeah, most people with spina bifida, or a lot of people with spina bifida, especially when they had latex gloves in the hospital,
Mm.
are allergic to latex for some reason. So, I'm allergic to latex. I was around balloons, and I'm not horribly allergic, but because I was around so many balloons, I started to have an allergic reaction, and I
Mm.
Googled it. I,
Mm.
I said, what should I do about a latex reaction? Google said, go to the hospital right away.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
And then I plugged it into my ChatGPT app. I said, what should I do about a latex allergy? And they talked about breathing exercises
Huh.
and so that way your throat doesn't plug up. And by the way, this isn't medical advice. Don't go to the hospital, listen to your doctors, whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but the night and day difference that it mentioned, because I'm
Mm.
stubborn, I don't want to go to the hospital, right?
Right.
And so like I want to avoid that, even if my life
It's
life is
nearly
on the line,
depending on
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
And so I tried these things that it recommended. It definitely helped. Now I wasn't a severe reaction. I just
Right.
if it is a severe reaction, I'm sure I would have gone to the hospital. But it's just interesting the night and day difference that this chat that I've programmed
Mm.
will do these things versus like say Google.
Mm.
So anyway,
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll have to play with that. That's
Um,
cool.
I have a fun question before we wrap up,
Okay.
Levi.
Okay.
If Levi ran the house for a day, what's the first rule he'd make?
If he ran the house,
If he ran the house.
he would make the rule would be no cooking. We'd have to order everything from DoorDash.
Yes. Where would he DoorDash from?
Oh gosh. I mean, he
And
likes
places for lunch?
yeah. Yeah, Levi likes food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He loves pizza. He loves mac
Okay.
and cheese. Like he would probably order Panera mac and cheese first,
Okay.
and then it would be okay. He likes Skyline. He likes
Yeah.
all the junk food, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to be respectful of your time. Do you know, can you take a guess as to how long we've been going so far? No, you can't look at your phone.
It feels like probably like an hour and a half.
It does. And it's funny, everybody before the podcast is like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, how are we're gonna run out of things to say?
Right. And it's so shocking how fast the time flies
It
by.
does. Yeah.
We're at it's 2:54. That includes
Wow.
the break that we had
Goodness sakes.
and all that. But I do have the disability section that I wanted to go through with you. It's 1:30, so how are we doing on time?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
You're
Like
fine.
I told you, my day opened up. So.
Okay. So talk to me about the first disability topic that I want to talk about is the stigma of walking.
Yeah.
So just to preface this, I as I said, I didn't start using a wheelchair until 5th grade, and I don't know if you know this story, but I had a bladder augmentation in 5th grade.
Mm.
It put me in a wheelchair for a couple weeks, and I realized that I was more independent in a wheelchair than I was on crutches.
Yeah.
I could carry my own lunch tray.
Mm.
I could keep up with my friends because, if I couldn't go fast enough, someone could push me to keep me up and do that.
Mm.
And I've learned to be able to do a wheelie and go down steps and up steps and
That's
things
up
like that.
steps?
Up
That's
step,
crazy. You have to show me
up
that.
a step, up a
Okay.
curb.
Okay. I'm like step.
Right. Well, yeah, and there are different ways that you can go up steps, especially if the handrails are close enough. But but down flights of steps and stuff like that. So
Crazy.
yeah,
Awesome.
it's cool. But that's to say that, and I don't know that my parents were, let's say, guilty of this, but like the societal reaction is walking. We got to get this person to walk.
Mm-hmm.
So can you talk to me about that? And what your thoughts are around that?
Mm. So my thoughts always were, I want Levi to be able to do whatever he wants to do.
Mm.
Okay, he was never going to be like a normal ambulator.
Yeah.
And even when he was using his walker, he it was hard. It
Yeah.
was exhausting for him, right?
Yeah.
And the minute he got his wheelchair is the minute he had freedom.
Mm.
So I fully agree with you.
Hmm.
But he's been using a wheelchair since he was 2.
Yeah.
He might have got his full day chair at 3. We
Right.
bought him one of those little, I can't remember what they were called. They're like little tiny, look like a Roomba, like a, I don't know, like a little homemade thing. And
Okay.
he loved it. I can't think of what it was called.
Okay.
A bumbo seat with wheels,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
If you even know what that
I
means.
don't. I have no idea.
Okay. It's like a molded plastic thing with like wheels, and it was great.
Okay.
He was like a year old pushing himself around, right?
Oh, cool. Okay.
But he did have to learn to crawl first. So
Mm.
anyway, no, I agree with you. I think that however you can get around the best, the easiest, go for it. Just go,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think there's if you want to walk, go ahead, do
Mm-hmm.
what you want. But, I think there's no shame in just saying, this is easier for me. This is
Yeah.
better for me.
Yeah.
I need to have my energy,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's what I think.
Yeah. So actually my dad just sent me this recently, but I was on TikTok and I found this video of these paraplegics who had this robotic
Mm.
that they put on their legs, and
Yeah.
it got them upright, and they had to still use crutches to be able to move with them.
Mm.
And the video shows that them getting up and walking, and some for the first time in a while, and
Yeah.
they were taking steps like a snail
Okay.
when they did it.
Right.
And I looked at the comment section, and everybody's like celebrating it and like, yeah, they're walking. This is awesome. And I made the comment on the channel. I was like, listen, this is great that we're making these technology
Mhm.
advancements, but you cannot tell me that this is better than using a wheelchair.
Mhm.
Like, it's not. Look how slow they're going, and they have to tie up their hands with crutches.
Mhm.
Like, this is a good step forward, but it's not good enough.
Mhm.
This isn't something that we should think is going to be customary as far as like to use it in the
Right.
form that it is in.
That makes
You
sense.
know.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know.
On
Go
that
ahead.
topic, one thing I do want to say is Levi was doing therapeutic walking. So we were doing it just because it was good for his hips. It was
Oh yeah.
good for his legs, right? Like, also something completely unrelated, and I don't know what the correlation is and if there was a correlation, or if it was just coincidence, but his reading levels jumped like 5 levels
5 levels.
during this time where he was doing therapeutic walking.
Whoa.
And I think there must be something with the brain in development.
Mm,
I don't know. I'm not a neuroscientist. I don't know, but I noticed it happen.
mm,
And I was like, this is good. So therapeutic walking is completely different
I agree.
than trying to force someone to ambulate in the world where it's not the best mode of transportation for them, right?
Yes, 100%. I agree, and there is something to say about, like, even if you did have to get up on crutches and walk in that way, like getting those legs moving and stuff like that, like that is definitely beneficial. And it's interesting. So I for anybody that doesn't know, I can walk a little bit, and when I do workouts with my legs, I feel so much better
Hmm.
after.
Yeah,
And I'm
that
like,
makes sense though.
yeah, it does, but it's also like,
Well, the blood
it's kinda
flow
weird.
and all of that down, I
Yeah.
guess that would make
Yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah, something.
Wow.
It is interesting. So, I've been trying to do more leg workouts and stuff like that to build up those muscles
Cool.
and all that. Okay, so another one that I want to get into with you is accessibility, which you said, hey, I really want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you about this. Preface it with this. So I had a guy just message me on Instagram saying that he wanted to take disabled people to stadiums, which I'm still hashing out. It's interesting. I appreciate that he's reaching out to me because he knows that I'm involved with the disabled community and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he's he's talked about the accessibility of stadiums and how there's disabled seating and stuff like that. One, has Levi ever been, other than I guess at the Cincinnati Open?
Yeah.
Has he ever been to a stadium, and have you ever taken him?
Yeah.
And
He's been.
then
Yeah.
have you ever had problems with stadiums regarding that?
Well, the problem I have is that there's typically limited
Yeah.
seating. And you got to forgive me. I've got to wiggle a little here.
Go ahead, wiggle away.
Okay.
Wiggle, wiggle,
there's-
wiggle, wiggle.
There's a I gotta wiggle. There's a difficulty because there's like limited seating,
Yeah.
right? And so also if you have a family of 10,
Yeah.
you can't always be together.
Do me a favor, pick that, like really force it up.
Yep. It's like keeps on going back down again.
Yeah. Here. Okay, pick it up now.
Okay.
Tighten it.
Okay.
Okay. And now point that mic at you.
Better?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
thank you. It's just almost like an afterthought, that's the only problem. And then there's limited seats available.
Yes.
So we'll try to. We can't ever order online because like all the disabled seats are taken.
Oh.
And when I get there, it's kind of frustrating because it's not typically people who really need them. A lot of times, it could be people who just want them, and that annoys me.
Yeah.
But I understand like you can't like require someone to disclose their disability before they buy a wheelchair accessible seat, right? So that's the only thing. That and concerts. Levi loves music. He loves to go to concerts, and some of them are amazing.
Yeah.
For people with disabilities,
Right.
and some of them are like less than impressive, right? It's just I guess I just wish it was more uniform.
Yeah.
I wish there was more.
Yeah. I went to a concert probably within the last year or two, and the accessible seating was in the very back.
Exactly. Where were you? Were you in Columbus?
No, it was, there's a really small standing room only place. Is it Bogart's?
Oh,
Is that a
Bogart's.
place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it was at Bogart's, and the fact that they even had a spot I'm super grateful for. Right.
Yeah, but I kind of, as a mom,
Yeah.
I don't really feel like we should just be grateful that
Yeah.
there's a place in this world for our kids.
Yeah.
I just think we should expect it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
It's interesting. I don't think I don't think like that. I don't think we should expect that. And I think the reason being is because is it awesome that people do? Yes. And now that ADA has come around, like they have to build buildings that are accessible, right?
Yeah.
But if I go into a 50-year-old building that's not accessible, and they're just a bar or a restaurant that's a mom and pop shop or whatever else, and they don't necessarily have the funds to spend all that money and all that. Now there are grants out there for things like that, from what I've gathered, that they can do that. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, of course, there are exceptions, but I'm thinking like this isn't like a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
I'm talking about stadiums. I'm talking about major places that are public use spaces.
Yes.
Not like someone owns the corner, liquor store, and I'm mad that they don't have a ramp for my kid to get in. Or so, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just trying to make ends meet. That's different.
Sure.
This is like a large public space that's meant to be available for everyone. That's all,
So you struggled with getting accessible tickets.
Yeah.
And what happens if you don't if you can't get an accessible ticket? Do you go anyway?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I expect them to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, put us someplace, please.
Yeah.
But like, so we went to the Andrew. Levi's obsessed with Alex Warren. Do you know him?
No, I don't.
Oh, he's such a good artist. He's like 25 years old. He's this child.
Okay.
He's an incredibly talented kid.
Yeah.
And so he's obsessed with him, wanted to go see him in concert. So I got tickets. There were no ADA seating available. You can't order them online. You have to call. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But I called and they said, well, they won't allow him to be in the general floor space because it's whatever.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to see anyway.
Right.
But they said, just show up and we'll redirect you.
Yeah.
And they did, by the way, down there have an amazing space on the floor for people in wheelchairs.
Okay.
Or who need whatever, walkers, whatever.
Yeah.
With seating. It was fantastic. And he had a great view of the stage. It was excellent. Similar similarly, we went to a different, like an older venue, and we were in the very, very back.
Yeah.
You can't really see anything,
Yeah.
which, whatever.
Yeah.
We could go. That's where I'm coming from. Like, I just wish they would think a bit more about that, you know?
And then the other thing that you can really tell is when an able-bodied person who knows nothing about disability designs something accessible.
Right.
And I've thrown this out in prior podcasts, but like the bathroom, like an accessible bathroom where the door opens into the bathroom, and once you get your wheelchair in there, like there's not enough space to close the door.
Right, you're stuck.
Like it'd be a perfectly accessible bathroom if the door opened the other way,
Exactly.
but because the door opens in, you're basically filling all the space where your wheelchair would go,
Right.
and you can't close the door.
Right. So what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Bring a blanket? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they just didn't think it through, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Same like porta potties.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like sometimes they have like an accessible porta potty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're gross in there. And so like, getting in there, you can't like really maneuver.
Right.
And sometimes you can't like get that door to shut. It's like, it's open and it's not, I don't know. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So,
No, keep going. These are
like,
interesting things.
well, yeah. And especially like as a mom of a young child
Yeah.
who had to use a porta potty, who needed assistance in his wheelchair. Well, there was nowhere for me to go. So I've been like standing on the toilet seat of these disgusting handicap accessible porta potties, like hovering down, trying to help Levi. I don't know. Just, just things.
Interesting.
Just things you've got to do.
So another interesting topic, and I've never brought this up, is people using handicap accessible bathrooms when there's other bathrooms.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. It's kind of a toss up because I know some people have claustrophobia.
Oh.
And so I try to be, like maybe they just can't stand that small space. That's okay.
Right.
But I think if there's another available space, take it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But if we're all in line waiting,
mm-hmm.
and then the handicap accessible bathroom is available, I don't think Levi should get pushed to the front.
Right.
I feel like everyone can use it.
Yes.
So I feel like a handicap accessible bathroom is in everybody's bathroom.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
My sentiment is like, who doesn't like to use a bigger bathroom to use the restroom in, right?
Right.
And so it's like, do I blame somebody for taking the bathroom? Not necessarily. If there's a line, if there's a line, like, and you have to like go number one, let's say, then maybe that's it's appropriate. If you can wait for another bathroom, great. But especially if there's a line, like we just got to cycle people in and out and stuff like that. But I don't know. Then there's the thought of like, if you're the only one in the bathroom, why not use the best one?
Right.
Right. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think I have mixed feelings about it too. It's really funny, the reactions that happen of people that come out, and maybe I'm just like assuming the reaction a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I've had people that are like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and like,
yeah,
like stuff like that.
But like, if you're not in there when they go in, so who are they saving it for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I would say the number of times that I have had someone in a wheelchair waiting to use the bathroom with me is very, very slim.
Exactly.
Unless I'm at like a hockey tournament or a basketball, tennis, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it's ever been a real problem, but I have a bigger pet peeve.
Yeah,
with people parking in handicapped spaces that don't need them.
Yeah.
That don't have a placard, or that really does get on my nerves, because we do need the space to open the door to get out.
Yeah.
It's not like they just need to be closer.
Yeah.
Because for me, like, fine, if the handicap space is for Levi because he uses a wheelchair, they're way in the back. I don't care.
Right.
I just need the space, man.
Right.
But you don't.
Right.
So it's not really about close. It's about space.
Yeah.
And I think people just misunderstand that.
Yeah. I agree. It's interesting. So the handicap spot is interesting because I've gotten called out. And I know most of my friends who are disabled have gotten called out for parking in the handicap spot because they see us sitting there. Like let's say I'm sitting there on my phone. I don't look disabled.
Right.
Right.
Well, what does that look like?
And right, exactly. And so someone might be like, "Hey, why are you parked in the disabled spot? And you know,
Right.
people call out, which, you know, their heads in the right spot for being compassionate about
Sure.
other disabled people, right?
Right.
But it's also kind of funny. It's like I had a guy. I went to church by myself when I was younger one weekend, and I took crutches, which is kind of rare for me in this moment, or at the age that I was. But I took crutches, and there's a pew, right, and
Mhm.
I put them on the pew next to me, right, and they said, "Oh, everybody stand up or everybody rise or whatever else," and this guy, because I didn't stand up. And I sometimes I'll stand up, and
Yeah.
I'll stand up for as long as I can, and then I'll sit back down. But and I might have in this situation, but anyway, I was sitting down, and this guy was like, "Why don't you have respect for the Lord?" or something like that.
God. Right.
And I just pointed to my crutches, and
Yeah.
this guy felt so bad.
As he should.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mind your own business.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
Okay, so talk to me. What specifically about accessibility do you want to bring up?
Oh, I think we brought it up.
Okay.
I just wish that people would take more time or hire people who have actual disabilities
Mm,
to consult with them
mm,
on, how to make spaces equally usable to
yeah,
everyone, right?
yeah,
And I understand like the old buildings and things like that, but like when I see something new being built and it's just not even considered, it's
yeah,
not really thought of.
mm,
Come on.
yeah,
How many playgrounds are we going to build without accessible playgrounds?
yeah,
Why can't we just make them accessible
yeah,
for
yeah,
everybody?
yeah,
Why does it have to be like such a big deal? Like
right,
there's an accessible playground over here where you've got
right,
to drive an hour to.
right,
Wouldn't it be cool if playgrounds were just accessible
yeah,
because all kids like to play,
yeah.
you know?
So I'm curious what you think about this. So I think an accessible section of the park is good.
Yeah.
But for example, like monkey bars, like not everybody in a wheelchair can do that. But you know, a lot of kids love monkey bars. So
Well, sure.
I don't think we're saying, and it sounds like you're not saying this either. Is we don't want those things to just go away.
No, we
We
just want
just
to be
want
included too.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
That's all.
yeah, I love that.
So like we're at Kings Island with Levi and Emma. Well, which I'm not supposed to say the names, but her mom won't care if I did. Um, Different Emma. They're riding rides. There's like one ride
Mm,
that is specifically accessible. Oh,
mm.
we have this ride that is specifically accessible. There's maybe 5 of them,
Yeah.
where it's like we considered a child who might use a wheelchair
Yeah.
in this Kittyland area
Mm.
so you can get into it, which, the joy on their faces was just precious
Yeah.
that they had been thought of.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine the opposite then. Like, oh,
Right.
great, yet another time I'm not thought of.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
don't know. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. I agree with that. The other interesting one is elevators.
Hmm.
So there's been times where like the elevator is on the opposite side of the building and there's only one, right? And
Right.
it's like or like the ramp is like on the other side of the building to the steps, or I don't know, things like
Yeah.
that is
You
like
can go in the back.
yeah.
Right.
It's like, okay, this is accessible, but it's also like I can't walk up with everybody else, or roll up with everybody else.
Right.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. We were at a concert venue where the entrance was down at ground level, but the accessible seating was way high up.
Mm,
In a way we couldn't really get there. So we
oh,
were redirected to go out and up, which is where everyone else was coming in,
uh,
down a sidewalk.
uh,
And so we were going against the flow of traffic all the way up this big long sidewalk hill to go in the back.
mm,
Which then of course you're not allowed to be readmitted if you leave.
yeah.
But all of the merch was down there. All of
Oh,
the food was down
oh
there.
my.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We only had the only bathroom we could use up there was a porta potty
Oh.
versus the regular bathrooms.
Wow.
And I said, Levi, how did that make you feel?
Uh,
He said, it made me feel really angry.
yeah.
He said, because I wanted to go get a t-shirt and I couldn't go.
Yeah.
And I had to trust that you would pick me out the one that you thought I would like.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, me too. It made me feel kind of crummy inside. I didn't like how that made me feel.
Yeah.
Now, it's old. It's been
Yeah.
around a long, long time, and I understand, right? Like it's one of those things. But still, it's still like, man, there was simple things could have been changed to make that better, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just wasn't thought about.
Sure.
And I'm not ungrateful that I mean, the venue does have it was a great space for them.
Yeah.
I just feel like I wish the world would take it 2 steps further and just think about that. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. It's interesting. So there's a fine line with that between being a victim and thinking that
right.
you're a victim
Right.
and also being angry or standing up to th- the values that you hold,
Yeah.
right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um so it's interesting, like the woe is me is and I'm not saying this is Levi or you or anything like that, but I have seen this is like people have such a mindset of disability, and they see steps that they can't get up to and they feel bad, and it's like, if you do that all day every day,
Mm-hmm.
that could be pretty toxic, right?
Sure.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Sure. For
So
sure.
I don't know if you have anything else to say. I just wanted to bring that up.
Well, I think it's just you have to have the right attitude about it.
Yeah.
And you have to say, well, okay, well, I won't choose to go to that place again.
Yeah.
However, it's okay to acknowledge that
Yes.
it's crummy
Yeah.
and that we wish it were better.
Yeah.
But also not to take it on personally.
Yeah.
And feel like
Yeah.
just personally offended by it.
Yeah.
You can say, that's crummy. I
Yes.
wish it were different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, maybe give feedback. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is crummy and this is why.
Yeah. Right.
I wish you guys could do a little better next time, or, in the future. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Levi wants to do a whole little TikTok thing on that.
I think that'd be awesome.
Like just showing it, like with the right attitude. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I can't go get my own pizza.
Right.
That stinks.
Yeah.
He's like, well, what if I was on a date and I wanted to get my date a
Yeah.
shirt and a pizza?
Yeah.
I can't.
Or kind of what your mindset was earlier is how,
How?
right?
Yeah, how?
Like, hey, I can't do this like everybody else.
Yeah.
So this is what goes through my brain to figure out how.
How?
And
Right.
it might not be that pizza place, right?
Right.
It might be a different pizza place that he likes just as much or something like that, right?
But how? And exactly, that's a good point. That's
Yeah.
how. He would have had to ask. I said, well, we did problem solve. I said, but what'd you have done? He said, I would have asked the guy at the back
Yeah.
and said, hey, do you mind if I go down and around? Will you let me
Right.
back in? And I was
Right.
like, exactly, you can do
Right.
that.
Right.
But they'd have to call down to the person at the bottom to let you in too, right? And it was just,
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
right. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's having the right attitude about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, let me bring up. I wrote down a whole bunch of things about disability, but
Okay.
we can do like one or two more, and then we can start to wrap up. But do you ever feel like people are too quick to be inspired by someone with a disability without really understanding their story?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think I understand why though.
Mm-hmm.
I think because naturally we're complainers and whiners and quitters.
Yeah.
And when you see someone who has to work 10,000 times as hard as you,
Yeah.
it's humbling.
Yeah.
And it is inspiring. And I feel like that's a catch-22 because a lot of people don't want to be inspiring.
Mm.
But I tell Levi, like, well, I'm sorry. You were born amazing.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to say? People are going to be inspired by that. How do
Sure.
you feel about that? I think that's more
Yeah.
important.
Good question. So I've mixed emotions about it. Like I've been in retail and I've had people just walk up to me and say, "I'm so glad they hired a disabled person."
Okay, that's condescending.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's things like that where someone's like, "Oh, they hired this person because they're disabled. That's awesome." And it's like, no. I don't want someone to hire me because of my disability. I want them to hire me because I'm the right fit for the job.
Because I'm good at my job.
Because I'm good at my job, right?
Right.
So it kind of diminishes it to.
I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And the other thing is the way that I frame the question is without really understanding their story. And
Got it.
I think a lot of people look at a disabled person because it's a visual thing and think that they automatically struggle.
Mm.
And I I I I look at it as and I looked at it I look at it as um if you change your diet and you do a very restrictive diet. Let's just since we talked about
Yeah.
raw milk,
Yeah.
you go on a raw milk diet, and
I've done it. It's
yeah,
hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so for a little bit, you start to crave the other foods that you were eating,
Mhm.
right? But as time goes on, it theoretically gets easier and easier and easier as you do it. And now, obviously, there's other temptations and stuff like that. And maybe this isn't the best analogy ever because I think everybody over time is going to want to crave other
Yeah.
food.
You're gonna be hungry. Yeah.
But I look at it as like this is what I'm dealing with, and for someone who has like a new accident, they have to adjust.
Yeah.
But over time, they figure out how to adjust, and so that difficulty that they had early on adjusting
Mm.
is a lot easier at this point.
Yeah.
So for example, like me loading my wheelchair in my car, it's like people ask me all the time, do I need help? And
Yeah.
the analogy that I give is it's like, do you need help putting your shoes on every morning?
Right.
And the answer is no.
Right.
Like obviously there are disabled people that need help with that those kinds of
Right.
things, but I don't. It's something that I do every day, and I can probably do it a lot faster than an able-bodied person
Mhm.
because I know how to do it, right?
Right.
Um, so the other thing with inspiration that I think is missed in the world that we live in now is we have a lot of a lot of people are looking at it, looking at someone with a disability and thinking of all the struggles, right?
True.
I grew up with a two-parent household. They weren't poor.
Right.
My dad wasn't an alcoholic. He didn't
Right.
abuse me.
Right.
You know, like
Good point.
I look at those things and I think, okay, I'm okay with you being inspired by me to an extent, but also like there are people that think that my disability is the worst thing that's ever happened to them, and they no, you're good.
Am I okay? Am I
Yeah,
still in the frame?
I
Okay.
think so. Let me
I'm just trying to wiggle because I'm a little out.
yeah.
My back and just getting a little bit sore.
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
we can wrap up.
No, I'm fine. I'm just trying to
shortly.
just wiggle it up. But
Yeah.
okay. Anyway.
But I think, you know, I'm super grateful for the life that I've had.
Good
Right.
point.
And,
Yeah.
and so when someone comes up and says that they're inspired by me without knowing all the details about what I've done with tennis or what I've done with the
Right.
podcast
I
or
get that.
anything like that,
Yeah.
it's very patronizing.
I understand
Right.
that. I so
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and so I've kind of come to the conclusion of I don't mind you being inspired me for inspiration's sake. However, I want you to take action.
Mm.
So if you think that it's inspiring for me to be in a wheelchair and just exist,
Right.
what are you doing with your own life?
Right. Exactly.
And that's a big. I'm so passionate about that. Like, fine. Like
Yeah.
I don't want you to just get the feels.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure.
I want you to use that feeling that you have and do something with your life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good point. Good point.
that's the inspiration. Anything else to add on that?
I think from not being someone who is disabled, but being a mom,
Yeah.
I see Levi and I watch him versus all my other kids.
Mm.
And I do realize that in reality, Levi does have to work
Sure.
much harder than they do.
Sure.
Like just to get out of bed in the morning,
Mm.
just to he has a stair lift, so he goes in his chair to the lift downstairs, makes another transfer. You know what I mean? Like he's got a lot more steps. Putting his pants on.
Yeah.
It's a lot more work, right?
Right.
And so I just think when someone appreciates maybe how much more he's had to do just to get to the same spot.
Sure.
I think it's normal for him,
Yeah.
but dang, it is a lot harder for him. And he doesn't maybe he does know, maybe he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I get more frustrated with my able-bodied kids because I think they're lazy. I'm like, you did nothing. Your brother took him 20 minutes to get his shoes on today because of whatever, right?
Sure.
And you're over here, I don't know, just doing nothing.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't know. It's a little bit of a different perspective, I guess. And
I
so
love it.
I think if someone who has kids who are maybe like my able-bodied kids and lazy and not getting, I mean, my kids aren't lazy, but like, they're all teenagers are a little bit lazy.
Of course.
And then they see Levi, who they witnessed maybe what the challenge he's having, getting out of the car, getting into his sport chair, pushing himself up a hill, playing a sport. And they're thinking, I can't get my lazy kid off the couch. And they realize how much more he's done just to get to that point to go play the sport.
Yeah, that's such a great perspective. I totally agree.
Yeah, that's all. I think that might be why. And that's what I try to tell Levi. Like, dude, they probably have kids who don't move. They probably keep their face in the phone all the time. And they're just impressed that you do all that you do.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed with you too.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I've been told like I think my parents said this like they said that my disability is a superpower.
Oh, cool.
And the cool thing about that is like, I would have never been a wheelchair tennis coach had I not been disabled, right? And been in this community, and it's like this community has given me so much joy and reward, and I'm just so grateful for it,
Yeah.
Okay. The other question, my mom has gotten this. Do you ever get people telling you they're inspired by you being a parent with a disability?
Yeah. So it's annoying, right? They're like, just have 8 kids in general. People are like, you're a saint. I'm like, ask my children.
Yeah.
They will tell you that is not true.
Right.
Like, no, I'm not. Don't put me on a pedestal, man, because it's not real.
Right.
And they do. And that's why probably you didn't know that Levi was adopted.
Yeah.
Because I don't tout it. I don't talk about it because then I get that weird like, oh my gosh, you're amazing.
Yeah.
He's in a wheelchair and it's like,
yeah.
Like, do you see this kid? He's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have never not adopted him.
Right. Yeah.
Levi's brought more to me and my family than I'm sure we've given him a ton, but he's also given us a ton.
Yeah.
Of course. Having Levi has made me a better person.
Yeah.
Has made me more understanding of humanity in general.
Yeah.
Has shown me my own weakness, my own everything.
Yeah.
My own failures, my own insufficiencies, inadequacies. It's humbled me in ways that I don't think anything else ever could.
Yeah.
Because I've been forced to slow down, think through things, and maybe think about how other people feel more, or how the plight of the world and how maybe other people are processing life.
Yeah.
And which I had never had to do before.
Yeah.
And I think it's been for me great.
Yeah.
And so no, not a saint. It's been awesome.
Yeah. So you rolled your eyes when I asked that question.
Yeah.
That's a similar mindset that I have.
I get that.
So I just wanted to put that into perspective because it was interesting that as soon as I mentioned it about you, you just rolled your eyes. And it's like, that's it.
Exactly.
That's exactly how I feel.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Anything else about disability? By the way, I had like 20 topics about disability that I was like curious about. We can save those for another.
Okay. Hit the last one you want to do. Maybe let's ask you whatever the more pertinent one is, because I don't have anything else to say.
Okay. Well, I can do one more then.
I'm just saying, like, go ahead and ask me. I don't have anything to add to your list. I'm sure.
Sure. Well, I was gonna skip by this and ask about future thoughts. Do you want to do one more disability?
Whatever you want, whatever. I'm fine.
All right. Let me find a good one. Let's do your reaction when a stranger asks why he's disabled.
Oh. It depends on my mood.
Okay.
If I'm feeling snarky, I'll say like, man, I threw him down the steps when he was a baby.
I love it.
But CPS gave him back,
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm feeling like, it depends on their attitude, right? Like
Sure.
some people have walked up like, what happened to him? And I'm like,
You just want to slap.
yeah, like nothing at all. Go away.
Yeah.
But it all depends on their,
Yeah.
like, oh, so what, why is your child in a wheelchair? Do you mind me asking why your child uses a wheelchair?
Yeah.
No problem whatsoever. I'm like, oh, well, he's born with spina bifida. It's basically similar to a spinal cord injury,
Yeah.
and then I just kind of leave it at that. But it
Yeah.
depends, on their attitude.
Yeah. One of my favorites is nothing. What happened to you?
Right. Nothing. What happened to you?
Implying because they're not physically disabled that they have a cognitive
That there's
function.
something.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah. So, do you think it's okay for a stranger to ask about what happened?
I don't. I don't think it's appropriate.
Okay.
I don't personally, unless there's again, I don't know the story, right? So maybe they have a child who also uses a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Or maybe they lost a child who used a wheelchair. Or there's all kinds of reasons people ask.
Yeah.
And so I try to maintain an open mind, and just as long as they're asking respectfully, that's fine.
Okay.
I do not like this question. What's wrong with his legs?
Yeah.
Like, right? What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
Well, that's when I start to okay, like the gloves are about to come on, and I'm about to ask you what's wrong with you.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
What's
for
wrong with
asking that
you?
question?
Really? Like, did you grow up under a rock? Like, what? But it's hard.
Right.
It's hard to take those things,
Yeah.
But I have to do it because Levi's watching, so I need to do it well.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't mind when kids ask.
Yeah.
At all, because
Right.
kids are just by nature curious.
Yes.
And I think it's a time for education.
Yeah.
But adults need to figure out how to do things more appropriately, I think.
Yeah. I personally don't mind it.
That's good.
And I welcome it for all ages. And
Good for you.
And
I'll learn from you, sir.
yeah. Well, no, so I didn't go through anything traumatic. Like,
Right.
and so it is a caution that I give that I'll give people. And since I started the podcast, I think my mind's changed with talking with different people about it.
Okay.
But I have no problem talking about it. But I didn't go through anything traumatic.
Right.
This is a birth effect. I didn't get in a car wreck. I wasn't driving. Whatever.
Right. Right.
Things like that could trigger somebody and make them not. They just don't want to relive that every single time somebody asks that.
Right.
So,
Right.
I do get that. I'm an open book. I love talking about it. I think them getting to know my disability is them getting to know a piece of who I am.
Which is good.
Which is awesome. And I think that's important to understand. So, okay. So I did say one more. I do want to ask one other one. So when walking in public and there's a little kid that says, "Mommy, look at that," or "Dad, look at that."
Yeah.
Or even the kid might even say, "What happened?"
Right.
Something like that, right? Like it's a natural reaction for all the parents to do what?
Tell them to be quiet.
Tell them to be quiet.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I think that's the wrong response.
Yes.
I think
Me too.
I think they should just say, "I don't know, why don't you go ask him?"
Yeah.
And that would be so much more approachable for Levi and make him feel so much better.
Yes.
And so some parents have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll look at me and I'll say, "I don't know, why don't you ask him?"
Yeah.
And so then they can ask Levi.
Yeah.
And I think that's better.
Yeah. When someone does do that and the parents shush, what do you? I know it's circumstantial, but what do you do?
I typically try to say, "Hey, no, it's fine.
Mm,
That's fine.
me too.
Like, it's okay. You come and ask Levi. Why don't you ask Levi?"
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to, because that's better.
Yeah.
It's better for everyone.
Yes.
And I don't want a child to feel like he shouldn't ask or learn
Mhm.
or make that makes Levi look taboo.
Yeah.
Like, you can't approach Do not approach a person in a wheelchair.
Yes.
That's the wrong message.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely. And I'll usually say something like at the end, like I'll explain my disability in whatever age appropriate way it is, right?
Right.
And I'll look at the parent after. I'll be like, I love your kid's curiosity.
And that's good. Yeah.
And so that they know, like, hey, it's not a malicious thing to be curious,
Right.
you know? And
Yeah.
so the other thing that I'm curious about is, do you think that shapes kids later on in life to not approach disabled people?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I remember being a kid and having my mom say to me, "Don't stare.
Mm,
Why are you staring?" And I'm like, well, I was little and
yeah.
I was thinking, I was just curious.
Yeah.
And I really do wish it would have been, I mean, it was different. I wish that I would have been taught differently,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You know?
I think staring's awkward. Like when you get stared
Right.
at, it's awkward.
Yeah.
And if there's anybody out there that feels inclined to stare, like if they don't notice, I think you know go ahead, stare away. But if they do notice, like wave at them, smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, something along those lines, and
Right.
don't just look away and make it look
awkward.
try to think that or pretend that you weren't staring, right?
Right.
Like if you get caught staring, like interact with
Smile.
the person,
Yeah.
or instead of staring, go up and talk to them.
Right.
You know, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
all right, Go ahead.
We were in China for
Mhm.
3 weeks adopting Liam. And we were sometimes we were in towns where they had never seen a white person before.
Oh,
And I was stared at a lot.
interesting.
And Steve and I were stared at. I mean, no shame.
Yeah.
They were like at the window. We're eating pizza and they're like face on the window, just staring because they'd never seen a white person in person before.
Huh.
And like my hair had been dyed blonde
Yeah.
and they would like come up and like pluck a piece out and run.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing I can say to, understanding how maybe, you and Levi feel.
Right.
People just like gawking at you.
Yeah.
And I always would just go up and talk to them and say,
Yeah.
"Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Jen."
Yeah.
Like, please stop staring.
Yeah.
But culturally, it's not rude
Yeah.
to them staring in there because it was offending me. But culturally, it's not rude.
Yeah.
That's totally acceptable to them. So
Yeah.
it's different here. But it's an awkward feeling.
I have a story that I think I've told this before. Sorry if you've heard this, but I think that you'll like this story. Is my mom when I was like 4, I heard this older kid or something like that saying that they wanted to be hidden when someone was staring. And so I was out in public with my mom later on, and I was like, "Mom, hide me!" And I got behind her, and she bent down and pulled me out from behind her, and she
Yeah.
says, "Don't you ever hide from who you are."
Oh, good mom.
And
Yeah.
so like I don't mind staring.
Yeah.
I was at an amusement park with my little brother, and my little brother's like, how can you stand everybody watching you? And I
Yeah.
was like, I didn't know people were.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway.
It bothers Levi. He's like, everyone's watching me. They want to see how I do things. I said, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Don't you want to see how people do things?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't know. They look at me all the time everywhere we
Yeah.
go. I
Yeah.
said, well, I mean, maybe did you ever consider the fact that you're just handsome?
Yeah. Right.
And maybe people are just looking at you because you're handsome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I look at beautiful things. People
Mhm.
like to look at beautiful things. I mean, you're handsome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe just consider that that's also a possibility.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
just because you're in a wheelchair.
Sure.
Maybe you're just
Sure.
also handsome.
Sure.
I
But
don't know.
also one of the things that I think about with that is it's like your mind is purposefully picks out things that are unique.
Absolutely.
And so if you're walking down and you see a whole bunch of able-bodied people as you're walking down the street, and then all of a sudden you see a person in a wheelchair, your eyes are going to just naturally gravitate towards someone in a wheelchair because it's
Right.
not something that you see every day on the sidewalk.
Right.
And that's perfectly okay and natural that someone is going to do that. Right.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah, they're staring because I'm in a wheelchair. Okay.
Whoop-de-doo. Yeah.
They're curious, and you know, like I think Levi might be a little bit more shy than say me, but
Yeah.
sometimes I'll just go up and talk to the person that's staring, or like just I really like awkward interactions, and so I might be just be like, hey, I caught you staring. or something along those lines,
Oh, that's funny.
or strike up a conversation with them, and
Yeah.
like I think it'd be hysterical if Levi was like, "I caught you staring. Why do you think I'm so cute?" Or something like that.
You think I'm handsome?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Caught you staring. Do you think I'm handsome? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
Uh,
funny.
okay. Uh, that's we'll start to wrap up.
Okay.
We're at 3:41.
Wow.
Yeah,
Gosh.
yeah.
I'm hungry. That
I know, me
explains why I'm
too.
hungry.
I
I'm like, I
know.
wonder if his
It's
mic is
two.
gonna pick up my stomach growling on there.
It's 2:21.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
the last couple things, just in closing, is what's one thing you hope listeners take away from you today? Take from this conversation that we've had.
Man, that's a good question. Um, I would say if you have a child or someone that you love with a disability, to get them into a sport of
Yes,
some kind that
100%.
help them get there.
Mm.
And also, if you're looking at adopting, don't be afraid to adopt a child with a disability.
Yeah,
So because it just brings your life so much more depth and joy
yeah,
than you would have otherwise.
yeah,
Also heartache,
yeah,
also struggles,
yeah.
but much more depth and joy.
Sure.
Your lows are lower, but your highs are so much higher.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Those are the things.
I love it. Do you have any socials that you want to share?
Oh, yeah. You mean like my Facebook page or my Insta?
Yeah, if you're comfortable with sharing it.
Sure. I'm Jennifer Hood Hunt on Facebook, and
Okay.
I think I'm Jen Sells Cincy on Insta these days. It used to
Okay.
be. It changes regularly
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I get bored with my handle.
Yeah.
But it's Jen Sells Cincy this time. So
Okay, so that's Facebook and Insta.
Insta.
Anywhere else?
I no,
Website or anything?
I don't. No,
Okay.
not really.
All right, no worries.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure we covered all the
I've
bases.
got enough to distract me.
Yeah.
Just those two.
Yeah.
I have a TikTok. I don't use it all that much. It was all really about Mojo, my dog. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Okay. Well, I really appreciate our conversation. I learned so much about you, so much about your family and Levi, and
yeah.
it was a great conversation. You're also the very first parent that I've had on
fun.
the podcast,
Okay.
and I've been trying to get my parents to come on for a while, but they live in Columbus, so it's a little bit more challenging. But
yeah.
thank you for sharing your story
Yes.
and laughing with me, crying a little bit, like everything in between. I really appreciate the perspective that you bring to the disabled world and all that. So
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, anything else do you have before we go?
No, I feel like we
Are
could
you
talk
sure?
this out.
We talked 3 hours, 44 minutes.
I feel like we've covered a lot of
I
things.
think we could go another 4 or 5 hours. Let's do it, Jen.
Let's order pizza.
Well, yeah.
I'm hungry.
Longest podcast ever. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining the Rolling Forward podcast. If you like what you heard, hit that like button, subscribe, or leave a comment. I definitely want to hear from you. If you heard something today that impacted you, please let me know. It helps keep me rolling forward, right? And if you want to get a T-shirt that's along the same lines of this, it says "This is how I roll," and it's a tennis player in a wheelchair. You can get this shirt on Amazon, but my shirts that are along the similar vein are at rollingforward.printful.me. And if you have an idea for my next T-shirt, let me know in the comments. It might make it into the shop. Until next time, keep rolling forward. Thanks, everybody.